And we are live. Welcome to the Pistons and Cavs watch along. I am here today with a guest. We have Ledgie Sports joining us. How you doing today? Are you excited for Pistons and Cavs Summer League game 2?
Oh, I'm so hold on, there's my audio's double right now because I have the stream on, so that was a fun error on my part, but I'm having a great time. I'm so excited for this. It's like, we talked a little bit about how we just talk into the void sometimes to our friends, like, "Oh, I love the Pistons," and I send 20 interrupted messages to my buddies, and they just don't respond, so, like, this is a fun time to talk with you and talk to some people that also love Pistons basketball and put some things together.
Yeah, no, it's a great time over here. I've really enjoyed your content. So if y'all haven't seen Ledgie Sports content, definitely go check them out on YouTube. Um, I feel like watch alongs are also so much better when you're not just by yourself. I was doing it the other day, and it's hard to manage the chat sometimes, but chat definitely.
Yep,
Looking forward to interacting with y'all. So let us know your thoughts throughout the game. Definitely want to hear from you guys. Like that's the most fun part about doing these watch alongs. So looking forward
yep.
to it. I'm gonna try to get the scoreboard on here. So if y'all want to follow along, I think Amazon Prime is a little bit better than some of the other platforms as far as making these all sync up. But that should help if you guys do want to make sure we're not ahead of you guys on the broadcast. And then, is there anything you're looking forward to in this game in specific? Is there anything you're watching out for?
Yeah, the big thing to me is, like, I've seen enough from Okorie to know that he's going to be a valuable NBA player day one. We come to preseason. Like, I'm waiting for preseason to see a little bit more of what he can do.
Yeah.
I made a tweet about it that he'd have to do some pretty egregious things today or for the rest of summer league for me to be like, I have some questions about how he's going to fit. Like, I'm going to enjoy watching him, but that's not the goal of today. For me, it's all about seeing what Nyesa does and just being able to see what the rest of these guys do. Chaz Lanier being able to kind of put pieces together. I was hoping he would have a big game one, but that didn't come to fruition. And
Yeah.
I mean, Trajan Langdon has been great with finding diamonds in the rough, especially Jenkins and Tolu Smith. So it's about who's can be that next one. And those guys that kind of worked because of the roles we needed, like
Hmm.
Jenkins with being a guard, taking some of those ball handling duties. Um, I just and I watched your video actually to get familiar with some of these guys, and I don't know a lot of the names, and I was thinking, the prototypes that I can really, um, think about affecting us day one are kind of those 3 4s, so people who can play defense and shoot the 3 ball, because I think that's where we're
Hmm.
kinda lacking in terms of, um, our rotations right now. So, I mean,
Yeah. I-
yeah.
After game one, I was like, man, I wish I liked Bryce Williams more. He's he had a pretty rough first game, but like that's the type of position where it's like if he would have really been a standout player in summer league, maybe he could have been like, or a wing
Mhm.
could have been that like Dennis Jenkins of this year. But to me, it's obviously like I think Ebuka is obviously great, and I'm excited to watch him more. I really felt like both Roddy Gale and Drake Allen were really impactful off the bench, but I think you're right. Chaz Lanier, like we really need to see more from him as far as his shot making specifically.
Yeah.
Um, we know he's got a good shot, but it was a tough game one for him.
It was, and it was just the kind of thing where I think game 2, it's only gonna get easier for a guy that looked like he was forcing it a little bit. I mean, I think he was 1 for 6 from 3, and I don't have the box score pulled up, so if I'm egregiously wrong, someone call me out, but I'm pretty sure that that was just a rough showing. And I just pulled up, like, the two-way contracts. Elijah Harkless, he's not on this squad, is
No,
he?
I think he just signed like the day
'Cause that was
before the
recent.
first game. Um,
Yeah.
I don't really know much about him, but I saw one Jazz fan in the comments when I saw off the tweet that said that we got him, said he was an annoying defender and that he'll do a good
Okay.
job. So he it sounds like he can at least impact on defense a little bit. Um,
Yeah, like, my buddy, one of my good friends, Jesse Hamilton, he does Hamilton Hoops. I don't know if you've seen that, like, he does, like, a lot of, like, TikTok, YouTube,
gotcha.
Instagram Shorts, stuff like that. He texted me the moment that it happened. I was like, "Dude, I love this guy. I watched a lot of Jazz games." And I said, "Are you lying to me? Like, who
There's
watches
no
just a
way.
ton of Jazz games?" But yeah, I don't know. Isaac Jones, other two-way. I'm just kind of excited to see what he can kind of continue to do.
Yeah, he's the guy that I was wishing I liked his like he obviously scores a ton and he was a G League all first team guy. I just wish I liked his game one bet. Like he was a lot of
Yeah,
defensive miscues, and I feel like that's probably more the norm.
I
Isaac Jones
agree.
here missing the first shot. We're getting underway, you guys. Duncan said in Vegas. Awesome. Hope you're enjoying your time in Vegas, if that's what you mean. And I got the scoreboard up, so now y'all can follow along, sync up your
Awesome.
streams, and yeah, we're underway. Look, definitely excited to see. There you go, Chaz
Oh,
with his first shot.
right away. And that's the one thing where it's like one good game from him and people forget about that first game. And
That's
that's
true.
kind of the thing with like with volume shooters. You just kind of it's hit or miss. And if he's miss all the time, it's over. But if it's like 50%, I can live with that, especially from a guy end of the rotation reserve. Oh, nice defensive play.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, and that's the thing when you have like a 6'1" point guard whose big thing is getting to the rim, you're gonna get your fair share of blocks. And if I and this is new to me, I haven't done a lot of these like watch along. So
Yeah.
if people are like, "What are you talking about, block?" Well, Okorie just got blocked on a drive after a good steal, but it's okay. We retained possession.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like this is definitely gonna be a pretty casual watch experience here for all of us. Look at that. Chaz with two threes already. Um you remember who he is, like you said. That's really not, I guess, the well, I think Chaz did have a disappointing first game. The shooting isn't the thing that, I was
Mm,
watching because like we know he's a good shooter. It's the other things. And I thought early on he looked like he was able to kind of make some things happen with his dribble. Like he had a floater early. So I'm hoping he can do some other things besides the shooting, but it's good to see his
yeah.
confidence up, in this one.
And that's something I get lost with a lot is looking at the shooting splits and like
Yeah.
box score watching because you just can't have that all the time. I mean, you're right. It's so much more. And wow, yeah, they just got right to the rim there.
Yeah, our defense in the first game was crazy. Isaac Big Fish Johnson, as I learned his nickname was while we were on the stream last time. He was just cooking us, and like he had 6 minutes, he has 14 points in his first 6 minutes.
Mm.
It was crazy.
Who is
Um,
this Cavs point guard? M.
yeah, I'm
Thomas,
pulling up the
Malik.
So they have Meleek Thomas, who's their off guard, and then Naquan Tomlin. He got some minutes for real this year, and
Oh,
there's
Chaz,
Chaz
another
there.
score
Yeah.
inside. That was a nice one too. It was just patient, wasn't rushed.
They have Malachi Branham. Is he from
Oh,
Ohio State? Is that right?
yeah. The former Spur. My in-laws are huge Spurs fans, so my brother-in-laws like
Ah,
love San Antonio. They have since they've been born. And they're also from like northern Michigan, which is the funniest part of it all.
gotcha.
Um,
That's funny.
oh, I'd want to see that one again. How Corey lost that one.
Yeah.
They're getting into the paint. That's the thing is like these summer league guys, effort's the biggest thing that you want to see from them. And if they're just getting into the paint at will, it's a little concerning.
Yeah. I feel like it's hard because a lot of these guys, like Onyenso, seemed pretty lost during the first game. I'm hoping
Yeah.
maybe it was just a little bit of a jitters, a little bit of, and I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't know how much the defense in this game, the way they're coached for this, is actually going to translate. Yeah, I hope to see a little bit better defense in this one.
Let's see. Yeah, it is funny kind of looking at a Corey and seeing that height difference from. I mean, he's against a 6'5" guard, right? Like
Hmm.
the 6'1", there's a drastic difference in those 4 inches. It seems a lot bigger.
Yeah. No, I feel like it's that for me, and then I want to see him against like NBA bigs, like
Hmm.
because the finishing is really creative and fun, but I want to see how it translates. And I think this is a good view of that, but also like the shot blockers in this game are not the shot blockers you know
Oh yeah. I mean,
in the
pulling up
fall.
some more games. They have Knicks and Suns, and I'm trying to think of who those bigs would be because I mean that's going to be the big thing for me. And I guess I said when we started, I'm not looking for much out of a Corey. I'm looking elsewhere. But you bring up a good point with kind of seeing how he's going to do against NBA level bigs. And I mean, if the Knicks and Suns have those kind of guys, those big bodies, good defenders, wingspans, it's like that's something that would be actually a key watching point.
Well, and yeah, so turned it over there. Yeah.
He see, okay, this I need to ask you something because I thought about this yesterday and my whole world changed. It was like a whole like 180 flip.
Okay.
I guess 180, not 360, because 360 would be the same way. So I was thinking about like people are talking about Ugonna and talking about how it's fine if he's rough. He's a project. He's the 53rd pick. But in the summer league, these are also guys who went undrafted, have had no career like accomplishments to this point. You
Mhm.
would think that, oh, he's the 53rd pick, he would be one of the top like upper echelon players. But I think that's the funny thing because I mean the other point I know is like 53rd, you're getting taken for potential what you can be, and some of those people who are undrafted, the ceiling isn't there. Like they've already reached their max. I don't know. Ooh,
And Chaz is just he's on fire. No, but I think it's a good question. I think with Onyenso, I feel like the scouting report, at least that I saw right after the draft, was just that he's like really raw on
yeah,
offense. And like even though he's like 22, I think, or 21, um, he did come off the bench in his last year, like in his last year at Virginia, even though he was such a great shot blocker. So I feel like maybe he's one of those guys that you just expect it to come a little bit later.
yeah,
But I'm not sure. I don't know exactly about his background for how long he's been playing basketball and stuff. But I think that's the other interesting thing is some of these guys haven't been playing as long as like sure half these guys have been playing since they were 5 years old, and then some of these
yeah.
guys learn when they're in high school or middle
Y
school. So
Those are the craziest stories to me, man, because I can't imagine just, like, picking up a skill at 15-year-old and being like, "I'm gonna become the best in the world at this."
yeah, and look, if Onyenso looks like a mess all summer league, maybe that's when we have a conversation about, well, he's going to spend most of his time with the Crews and probably not very many of those two-way games with the Pistons. But
Yeah.
also like they have Isaac Jones on a two-way, and like I don't, even though I'm not impressed with his defense, he can obviously score. Even though he might be more of a four than a five, but I think he'll get minutes definitely before Onyenso this year after just watching a game and half a quarter.
Yeah, I agree with that, like, 1,000 times because I do feel like with a raw big, you can afford to have him play a majority of the games at that G League level, kind of being one of those upper echelons there.
Hmm.
But Isaac Jones, I do agree, like, when you look at the rotations that we have, and I just don't think there's an avenue where he doesn't get some run. Because I mean,
Yeah,
if
who's your
Torian
fours
Prince is
right
your
now?
backup 4,
Yeah,
like, I feel like that's gonna be some games missed, and a lot of people are saying, "What if Ron Holland's your backup 4?" But I was like, "Wait a second, wasn't he like a 2-3? Like, why are we're moving down to the 4 now?" Like, that I
yeah,
don't wanna do that out of necessity because I don't wanna put him in a position that he's not gonna be, like, absolutely successful as with 1 because you wanna see what you have, but also it's the point of, like, you wanna make sure that his trade value is up. As, like, awful as that is to say, we get to the trade deadline, and if we're just putting him in that power forward slot and it's just not working, it's like, yeah, it's best for the team, but I feel like it's even better for the team to put him somewhere that you at least have that positive asset that can be flipped with combining salary. I
yeah.
don't know.
No,
It's looking too far
I
ahead.
I get it. I think for me, I guess it's probably just better sign if he's playing. I think
Yeah.
when it comes
Yeah.
down to it, like I think it'd be more of a red flag if he just wasn't getting minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aaron just mentioned Tom Gores. They just showed him at Summer League. What's up, Tay Tay? Thank you for joining. While you're coming into the live, definitely like the video. It does a lot to help the channel. Let us know where you're watching from, where you're tuning in from, and who you liked in this game and who you're frustrated with, maybe. I wish we had. I feel like in game one, Okorie kind of took a minute to really put a stamp on the game, and we've been running a lot through Chaz right now, and he's been making
Yes.
those smart passes. But I hope we get to see some more scoring early on here from Ibuka
I agree. I also feel like maybe I don't know. I feel like they're changing game plans up
for sure.
every game because they wanna see something different, and I feel like they might have seen what they wanted to see with
We got
this is
Bryce Williams
crazy.
calling his number again. But who is
Chaz?
this guy? Oh my
Oh,
God,
man.
Chaz! Oh my
Wow.
God, you guys! Let's go Pistons Summer
This is
League
a heater.
betters. We had some people in the last live stream that were really going through it. And I said, guys, don't bet
We're
on Summer League. Just
betting
don't
on
do
summer.
it. Just don't do
Yeah.
that.
Oh!
Oh my God, you
Oh!
guys.
Another
Chaz
one.
Lanier. I gotta make a
What does this
video.
mean for his legacy?
I know. I gotta. Oh my gosh. I have to make it. I'm making post game just about Chaz Lanier.
Yeah, I think you have to.
I know. I
I
gotta
mean, if
apologize. I was so rude last game. Pistons also
I
have
think
some guy in named Steven Crowell who I didn't even know of his existence until now.
I'm rewinding that last one because I wanna see how he's getting set up for these because these are all pretty quick into the shot clock too. It's not like it's setting up, it's fast break. Okay, one came
Ebuka.
off the
Oh,
rebound.
a
Yeah,
tough finish
Leslie.
there. Couldn't hit. But that first step is crazy. And he draws the foul on the second one. How many points did Corey have?
I don't think he has
Not
any.
none, but he's going to the line now for his, one shot at 2 points.
I'm
That's what
going to
we
say
see.
that he was definitely going for contact. I
Yeah.
rewound that just to kind of see what's going on, and his back is to the basket, and then he just kind of goes up behind.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of an interesting look. But I mean, if you can get contact, you got to do it.
Chaz with the early 17, y'all.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, there he goes.
steal, acrobat,
Look at this.
draws a foul.
The way he can fight through contact. I mean, you can just tell that's something like his feel for the game, his ability to, because he did that all throughout college. Like,
Yeah,
doesn't matter the size of the guy, he can get into like awkward situations and then still find a way to contort his body to finish. I feel like that's going to translate. I really do.
100%. He reminds me a lot of like it's almost like a Kemba Walker, John
Mhm.
Wall, Russell Westbrook, just like bulldog to the rim sort of thing. And I know Kemba's probably the least of those three in that regard. It's just like
Yeah.
just from it's the Kemba like Kemba being 6 foot on the dot. Like that's the thing that kind of gives me the most. Oh, let's see.
Yeah. And people, I mean, that was a comparison I've seen stat comparisons from Okorie's freshman year versus Kemba's like last year where he's nearly player of the year. And like, there's a lot of similarities in their production, which is crazy.
Yeah,
Um, since Ibuka was doing it as like the only offensive player on their entire team that could do anything.
and it is kind of fun to see him now with more quality players. And I don't want to talk
Maybe.
crap about Stanford players, but you know what I mean.
There was some
Like,
moments last game where I said, I don't know, it probably felt a lot like Stanford. But
yeah,
hey, Chaz is shooting it well. Um,
and I feel like this is kind of giving me kind of some sort of like because I mean they're running a lot through Chaz, like you said already, and that was a bad turnover. But I mean, Abuka playing more off ball,
mhm.
and it's
You'll
kind of
need to,
reminding me more
yeah.
of what it would be like with Cade.
Yeah, that's kind of what I want to see. I want to see Ibuka play a little bit of minutes with either Roddy Gale or Drake Allen. They wouldn't have
Mm,
as much size as obviously you do with Cade, but like I want to see him off ball with a guy that's like a point guard versus Bryce Williams chucking threes or Chaz Lanier. I mean, he's doing what he can, but like I do want to see dribble stuff from Chaz though, so that's cool.
who's that big blondie
Yeah,
for us?
that's Steven Crowell. Apparently,
Okay, you said
he
that's what
joined the
you
team
said.
after I made my video covering every player, so I have no idea who that is.
Nice roll. Yeah, the starters are. I mean,
See,
oh,
yeah, we're seeing some
2 man game.
Ibuka 2 man with the Chaz, like setting guard to guard screens, and I think that's something that him and Cade can definitely do
Hundred
together.
percent.
Some transition.
Oh, that
Yep,
hesitation. Oh my, that's what got it. That's what got him those points. That was beautiful.
it was.
I need to see that one again. That was just great to see because you think about a lot of people do the comparison to like Jaden Ivey, and I know that's like beating a dead horse at this point. I don't think I've ever seen a Piston other than Cade Cunningham with that level of I don't know, just patience during summer league. I know with Ivy, he was very rushed a lot of the time,
Yeah,
and that's the thing with the Corey. We're seeing like a fine tuned product,
he's very
and
calm and collected. He is. He's
mhm,
confident. Like he knows what he wants to do. He does it.
yeah,
He doesn't freak out. His deceleration, his hesitation moves, everything is
100%.
like absolutely pro level already. So I'm hoping, I'm hoping he can have a real impact at producing from day one. That's my hope. But maybe they'll make him earn it and give Danis the little bit
Yeah,
of run at the beginning as the backup point guard. I don't know.
I think Jenkins earned it. I do feel
Yeah,
like a lot of people are like, "You're giving this guy the ball in these playoffs. Like, why are you doing that?" But it's like, who else are you going to give the ball to? And he's actually like semi-productive,
he
and people like to
started.
bring up,
Yeah, I mean, he
yeah.
started a couple of playoff games at the end.
I just don't like how people just kept bringing up the play, like, oh, they pulled someone pulled up the pick and roll analytics. He was one of the worst pick and roll guards in the league, and I was like, okay, like that wasn't where his specialty was. That's fine. We have a guard who is top tier in that regard.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Danis is mostly his shooting is really his impact, right? So like if he's
Mhm.
hitting his shots, his 3-point shots, he can be really impact because he's annoying on defense. He's 6'4", he's taller than you think he is. He can be kind of good on defense as well. Um, but like it's definitely the finishing and stuff that like Ibuka's totally probably a lot better than him day one.
Ye
So,
100%.
man, like the tricky part with this is that like I think at first when we drafted Okorie, we were thinking, oh, you can play Dennis a little bit off ball with Cade, a little bit off ball with Okorie. But like the way the roster is shaken out, we got Isaiah Joe still, we have Duncan. I don't think we expected to have both of those guys around.
Yeah.
Um, Unfortunately, the guy that's not getting minutes between Dennis and Okorie, how many minutes are they really gonna be able to get? You know what I mean? Like per get, like
Yeah.
is it gonna be like a one of them's not playing each night, or what's that gonna shake
That's
out to be?
that's weird because you're right. Like, because people can say, well, they can both play off the bench. But I mean, you have Cade soaking up all those minutes. And yes, Cade in theory can line up 1 through 4, but how much are you going to see him operate as a 3 or 4 in the rotations? And people like to say, like, well, he's big enough to, but that doesn't mean they're going to.
Yeah, and like I
So I
don't.
mean, Duncan Robinson, I feel like you could put him at the 3 if you desperately had to.
You could off the bench,
Joe,
yeah.
Joe, I feel like in theory in some lineups you could, but it's just one of those things where it's like there's not much versatility to go around this roster right now, in my opinion. Like, obviously, things can change and things can get shaken up, but yeah, that's my biggest
Well,
worry. Not worry, but
I feel like there's at least more shooting versatility. Like you now have the ability to, if you want, just for like, let's say it's an end of the game situation, you need a three. Being able to play Dennis, Duncan, and Joe off a Cade, and then like
mm,
a big like that's a versatility you didn't have before. To me, it's just like the balance of the roster. Like I'm not like I know Torian Prince like shot it well in the last couple of years,
yeah,
but his defense has slipped, and like I'm not really trying to rely on him to play actual backup 4 minutes. And Ron, like you said, like I hope he can have a big impact this year. I think he'll be splitting between like maybe playing some minutes at the 3 and at the 4, but like he's not gonna be able to rebound like a true four would,
hmm
and do some of those things that like well I think John Collins might be an upgrade in rebounding to Tobias and in shooting. It'd be nice to have some more minutes like that I'm comfortable with at the 4, I guess.
yeah. You mentioned something that made me think of like because you were talking about how if you want to run Joe, you want to run Duncan, and I can't remember the other name you put in there,
Yeah,
but
but
it's
like
like,
Danis with them, but I mean you could play him with whoever.
yeah, I just thought back to like everyone bringing up those Golden State death lineup things with Draymond at the 5, and it made me think of John Collins playing some 5 for this team, and it's like
He
those minutes would
could.
be fun
Yeah, if you need
because it
a
would be
3,
athletic.
you could put Collins at the 5 with that lineup, and that's
Yeah,
4 shooters. I mean, that's 5 shooters. You could play Cade,
5.
Dennis, Joe, Duncan, and Collins.
Yep.
I mean, if you need a 3, that's what you do, probably.
Think about that 5 out game, and then you have Collins being able to pick and roll for anybody, and then
Yeah.
dragging in a defender, and then you're gonna have somebody open. Because I don't think anyone's gonna wanna go against John Collins one-on-one on a drive to the rim.
Right, and, like, you could I mean, to be honest, I think Okorie's shots looked good so far. Like, I know he
Mm,
shot it was, like, 35% in college, but, I mean, he could end up being a 36% shooter right away. Like, if he is, then, like,
yeah. Ooh,
that's another option, so yeah, we got an interesting lineup here. We got Roddy Gale, Drake Allen, the standouts from last one. Jihad, who scored about 10, I think. And then Jaden Henley in the corner. Can't
did
hit.
you see that pass he had, that bullet down low?
Yeah,
Like, the beginning of that possession? That was
absolutely.
insane. Um,
And then Stevenson,
the
that's the last. Stevenson is also on Exhibit 10. So I think Stevenson, Drake Allen, and uh Henley, those guys are guys you're definitely going to see in on the cruise. Roddy Gale hits another 3. I feel like he's earned a spot on the cruise, to be honest.
yeah, I
There's
made a
2
tweet how,
games.
"Oh, that was a nice drive." I
Yeah.
didn't look like he went for the make there. That's sometimes weird. It's people go for the contact versus going up to actually get it to the rim, like their eyes are off the basket. Like, I'm gonna need to watch this. Maybe I'm oh no, I guess he was. Okay, I'm a liar. Look at me like an old man on a soapbox.
It's hard to watch along and and be talking Pistons at the same time, so you're good. Yeah, Richard said second unit's so small. Um,
Yeah.
that's kind of the roster balance questions we have too. But
And at least we're not doing the platoon swaps anymore like we did with Monty.
bro,
Like, it's one of those things where, yeah, it's shorter, but you
yeah,
can but the thing is when you don't have another, like, big you don't have anybody over 6'8" other than Duran, is that right? How tall is Collins? Is he 6?
I think he's like 6'9". I would just guess he's 6'9". I
Let's
don't
see.
know.
Yep, 6'9", 100%
Wow, there
on
we
the dot.
go. One for
Ball
one today.
knowledge. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would like to see us get another how tall's Tolu Smith?
Oh, he's big. I think he's like 6'10".
6'11". Okay, yeah, that's
One for two.
yeah, 1 for 2. You take it,
Yeah.
and honestly, you saying that made me more excited when I saw he was 6'11", so
Mm,
I'll say that's a 2 for 2.
okay.
Um, but yeah, I just feel like then we can have just a lot of different variations, and I don't feel like it will ever be too big of an issue.
Yeah. Um, and if they feel like they have to make a move at the deadline, they do have some ways they could do that now. I know y'all are not ready to hear that. Like, I, we felt like the last couple off seasons, it's like, oh, we'll wait till the deadline to make our move. Oh, we'll wait till the off season to make the move. Oh, we'll wait till the deadline to make the move. But guys, they tried this off season.
Yeah.
They did. I mean, by all reports, if you believe any of the credible reporters, they certainly have made their attempts. So I don't know. I think they do have more flexibility at the deadline, but I am disappointed a bit that the big addition to the team is kind of just subbing out Tobias Harris for John Collins. That wasn't really, and then
Yeah.
the Joe and Okorie. I mean, Okorie might prove to be great and really good day one, but like it's tough to rely on the 17th pick to do that.
Well, I'll tell you, this was like the primary focus of my video I made last night,
Hmm.
and the biggest thing for me is that we're basically like this offseason, it went from trying to add to Cade Duran, Asar, and try to find that star to trying to just survive this Jalen Duran contract extension because every move we make
Yeah.
now, like we don't even know what Jalen Duran's going to accept. So we have to be so careful where it's like that Kevin Herter deal. A lot of people said it was 3 million more than what other teams would have gave. What if we get the Jalen Duran contract and he's like, I need 40, and then we give him 40? That 3 million gets us that much closer to the luxury tax line. And it's
Hmm.
like, how terrifying is that? And so the team has to think like 5 steps ahead, where it's like they can't think about adding one of these huge contracts because what they just don't know what JD is going to do. And
Yeah.
so that's the thing to me where it's like this whole offseason was like has gone off the rail since day one. But like Okorie, that's the one where it's like they've wanted him this whole time. That's like confirmed. That's who they wanted all throughout this past season. So it's like one of those things where that went right, but everything else, they're just trying to survive. And I think they've done a good job because they've maintained more flexibility. They got off that Stu contract, but it's like the most intriguing part to me is that they just got a collection of medium sized contracts
Hmm.
that are flexible and that you can pivot. And I think that's what's going to lead to a star coming to Detroit at the deadline versus now, because like you can't aggregate some of these salaries until December, but it's like, I just think then you have the optionality then to mix and match all these different numbers to then
Yeah, I mean,
be
you have Collins at 17, like,
100%.
and he's not guaranteed the next 2 years. You have Duncan at 15, like I think
Yeah.
Joe at 11. Like, there's
Gary at that 6 number, and like people say we should cut him, but I'm curious. I want some people who are very cap driven to put together like a list of all the Piston stars they could get, the ones that we know, the ones that like people assume might be tradable, and try to make a configuration that where it's like, is Gary Harris's contract work to like make all the
mm,
numbers work?
interesting.
Because then I think that's a good determination if we
Yeah.
keep him or not.
Well, to be honest, after game one, I was like, maybe it's Chaz that. But hey, Chaz just came out and said, "I'm not getting cut. You guys got to cut Gary Harris, the Spartan. It's not me. Leave me alone." So
Who would you rather have as like the last reserve guard?
I mean, I'd just probably say Chaz. I'm not sure that there's really any reason for Gary Harris. Aaron mentioned that Harris and Prince are at 3.8 each, actually. Um, but yeah, I guess I'd probably say Chaz, but also like if one of these other guys from the summer league team really ball out, I'm kind of hoping one of them get a two-way spot.
Hmm,
But I don't know. I mean, I'm not too. I guess I'm more concerned about the four than I'm thinking about it
yeah. And these are all little things in the grand scheme. Like we're talking about
for
the
sure.
last shooting guard on the bench.
Yeah, I'd just probably let Chaz rock with it, and yeah, just go from there. I said Onyenso not looking good right now. Yeah, it's been a tough start for him. I said Duran probably in Sacramento cares more about money than winning a championship. That was Miggs Politics Sports. Um, look, he's also got to try to maximize his contract. I know people been talking about Wemby the last couple of days, saying, "Oh, look how Wemby took this team
So
friendly
different.
deal." Look, Wemby's going to make the most money off of endorsements since of any player since LeBron.
Yeah. He's making 75 million a year
Like,
from Nike.
that's he's just going to get paid by like all these companies more than anybody else. Like I understand that it's awesome that he was willing to do that because most stars are not. But also in the same breath, this is Jalen Duren's first contract. If he's signing DeAndre Ayton contracts with it by the time he's 27, then no, he should not have taken a team friendly deal. He should have asked for as much as he can, and I do think that he's probably got to come down for if the number is actually the max number, like the 50 number, like that's just not going to happen. But I don't blame him for wanting to be paid what he feels like he deserves. That's just kind of how restricted free agency works.
I'll tell you, I've heard that like his camp would they said that 40 would be what they would want. Like they've came down to 40 and the Pistons are just like
Stuck at
35 is that
35.
number.
Yeah, it sounds
So
like
it's
that's
like
where they don't want to pay more than that for. I'm
exactly.
guessing like a Star Thompson contract reasons. Like
Yeah.
there's a
And,
lot.
and and the thing that I keep thinking is like if it's 40, is 5 million going to be the difference for all of this to kind of for this offseason to be on fire? Like is 5 million that big of a deal for to each side to potentially sacrifice building upon this past year? So it's like that makes me think, I don't know. That no it just feels too like crazy to be real. A 5 million difference being this much of an issue, but it's like I've heard from people I trust that that's what's going on.
Mhm.
So it's like it's just I don't know. It just feels crazy to me.
Yeah, it's tough. Hopefully it ends soon, but I don't. We might be in
Oh,
October and talking about this
yep.
before training camp.
October 1st. That's
Yeah,
when he has to know.
yeah. As long as it's not the qualifying offer, it's okay. We'll be fine.
Because people just say, yeah, let him take it and then trade him. Well, you can't trade him because it's a no trade clause. Like he can literally
Yeah,
just play out that year. He can sit out. He can do
he'll
whatever
just
he
leave for
wants.
nothing.
And
You cannot do
mhm.
that. That would be emergency scenario. Ibuka there left his feet on that pass, and I think he landed with both of his feet. He did that a few times. I'm hoping that he's a creative passer, but I want to see him leave his feet a little bit less.
Hmm.
But he does generally make really good passes out of it. Like I think the body control is shown to be really good, so he can kind of do that.
Oh my gosh, is that Kenny Atkinson?
It might be. I think it is.
Holy cow, he is old. I saw him earlier and I was like, why do they keep showing this old man? And it's like, I am
Maybe the
I feel
playoffs
old.
aged him. It's because they won all the analytics games. They played so many games.
All those extra games.
Yeah, they played like what? I guess four. I don't know how many we want to count that as.
Wow. I am just amazed how old he is.
And then they said,
Huh.
Matthias Nays Pistons said Ron gets thrown around in trades simulations also because of his contract. Yeah, I mean he's got 9. So we talked about all those contracts that are movable. He's probably the only young piece that you'd want to
Yeah.
throw in there for a team. I don't know how much his value will be now or even by the deadline, but you're right. That's a name to throw in there as well. He said Richard said Kenny is young analytically. There you go.
One thing I'm seeing on Twitter right now is Amari had an article 22 minutes ago, and I don't know if that would have been yeah, game must have just started.
Uh huh.
Talks about movement shooting has been a big focus for Chaz Linear going into year 2. And if
Okay.
I would have read that before game 1 and then I would have, like, watched that game, I would have said, "Oh, I should have done more." But it's like, we're seeing kind of that come to fruition
Yeah, I mean
tonight.
he's gonna have to be able to basically his role to producing this year is gonna be Duncan getting hurt or Joe getting hurt, and then
Mhm.
them just saying, "Hey, we are gonna give you a shot to get their minutes tonight. Like, we'll see what you do with
Mm.
it." And he's just gonna have to produce in those minutes. If he does what I mean, today he's done some of those Duncan plays, like being able to that those 2-man game with a point guard, stuff like that. I want to see him
Yes.
coming off of screens more though. I think that's the kind of stuff that I if he can start doing that and proving that, then
Mm.
he might have a shot to, at least be called upon when the moment needs him versus like them just cutting the rotation down by a player.
Yeah.
Shout
And
out from Brazil. Thank you for watching from
ooh,
Brazil.
that's awesome. What's fun to me about Duncan Robinson, and it's like, maybe we can talk about Malik Beasley a little bit, not like the issues, but just the kind of the game that they provided has been the best shooting guard play since what Piston? Because and it's not even like they're elite players, but what they're able to do, because like they're basically the Wayne Ellington, Jody Meeks role on steroids from the
Yeah,
past. Because I just always remember Wayne Ellington always got the first shot of the game off of some.
he did.
Ooh,
That's true.
and that's the one thing I remember, and it's like now we just got like a supersized Jody Meeks, Wayne Ellington. I mean, the Pistons. I mean, since Rip, am I blanking on a shooting guard that we've had that's been like astronomical?
Um, I mean, probably I don't know. Luke was pretty decent in his time with Detroit. Obviously, like it ended pretty felt like abruptly. That era
Hmm.
was just tough to be a Pistons fan. I don't know. I guess yeah,
KCP.
KCP was really pretty good. I mean, he did produce. I think he averaged about like 14, 15 at his peak with the Pistons.
Yeah, I remember all of that ending and us getting Avery Bradley out of it and thinking
Bro,
like,
I
oh
thought
man,
that
we're gonna
was,
take a step.
dude. I thought we were just robbed the Celtics.
Yeah, because he just
For
came
him.
off. Was that the series he came off hitting those couple game winners, two
I think
games in a
so.
row? I don't remember exactly, but
I thought he he was gonna be good, and he just. I mean, he could stay healthy. And I don't think he wanted to be here. Yeah, I
that was
miss
a
Luke Kennard too, Matthias.
that was an interesting time for the Pistons because it felt like we always had those players that ended up becoming role players elsewhere, but then we couldn't make it work. Like Marcus Morris, Tobias
Hey,
Harris.
Marcus Morris was kind of nice for
I
a second
see
though.
the thing that brought me into the new era of basketball was seeing Marcus Morris and Tobias Harris start at the 3 and 4
Mm,
because it
you
was the
believed,
age of dinosaurs
yeah.
for a while for Detroit, and it's one of those things where it's like, whoa, this is the new thing.
And some
We have
young wings,
spacing,
yeah.
and
I liked Marcus Morris a lot.
me too.
I was
That was
also
a fun time.
I was a big believer in Sekou Doumbouya.
Oh, baby. I
That was my
remember in college watching the dunk on Tristan Thompson.
yeah. I was in college too. I was like
Mm.
so excited.
Oh, and then he had that run, but then it was like he had a game against Kawhi Leonard, and people were like, wow, it's the future game. And then
Yeah,
he stunk it up, and then I don't think he ever touched the ball again. And then COVID happened, and he went and
yeah.
partied overseas, and
I'll
then he got in trouble.
I'll never forget the Celtics game that he had. Where he scored like 25. Um, and then I remember also Dwayne Casey saying that he needs to go out and talk to women.
Yes.
He needs to have some fun. That he wasn't having fun. Look at Okorie with the tough finish there, drawing the foul.
I missed it. I was looking up Second numbers.
Well, we got a commercial. You could probably bounce back a little bit.
Okay, good.
Um,
I didn't even notice the commercial. Let's see.
yeah, I love Sekou Dinwiddie. Oh, bro, Dinwiddie. Listen, when Dinwiddie when he got picked, that's when I was like really, really getting back in, um, just getting more into being a Pistons fan. And I think he's picked 38th. He's coming off that injury, and I was hearing, hey, like he's actually, he could have been a first round pick if he hadn't gotten hurt. And uh, I was so into him as a player, and he ended up blossoming elsewhere, obviously.
Yep.
Um,
Was that where
yeah.
did it start? Was it Chicago next and then
I think so. They went to Chicago. We traded
Brooklyn?
him for like nothing. We just gave him away, and I was like, "Come on, guys!" But I tweeted a lot to Spencer Dinwiddie. He'd retweet my post because I think I was probably
Really?
one of the only people tweeting at him. That I was like, "That's a big fan." But yeah, he's my guy. Aaron
My
said Bryce Williams is legit pissing me off right now. He's deliberately ignoring Okorie every play and forcing his own offense. He should be benched for playing like this. That is very much how I felt after game one. And in my recap, I was like trying to be nice about it. But I hear you, Aaron. That's yeah.
the only player that I tweeted at and they like replied to in a thread was Peyton Siva.
Peyton Siva. Let's
And
go.
the only reason for
Yeah.
this was because I'm trying to think of what. Oh, I brought up how I made a bet that Peyton Siva would be better than Trey Burke when I was a
Oh,
freshman in high
yeah.
school. And I was like, that's gonna happen. And I was like, and then they both were shit. They were both bad. And so then, of course, he saw it somehow because somebody said, "Oh yeah, Peyton Siva, yada yada yada," and then he responded to that, but it was a part of the thread. I was like, "Oh, he just saw me call him out," and I was like, "That made me feel really bad because like I bet you
Oh,
he's a great guy
yeah.
and he was a second round pick, and I just put unrealistic expectations, and it's like I just looked like I've deleted it. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go
Yeah.
look back because if I didn't, I'm deleting it now.
No, I know. One time I tweeted when I was in high school, I tweeted something mean just because like I forget who. I think it was Jody Meeks was missing every shot,
Oh no,
and he quoted me saying that thinking I was like betting on him, and I was mad. I was like, no, I was just mad. Like, um, yeah. He tweeted something about like the Super Bowl, and I like tweeted like make a shot or something. I was so mean. I don't know why I did that. I feel so bad about it still. I just remembered it.
Jody Meeks. He feels like he would be one of the nicest guys
I
to
know.
meet.
I was like,
Just
why was I
I
mean to him? I don't get
okay,
it.
39. Who's 39?
Jaden Henley,
Jaden
Grand
Henley.
Canyon. He's 6'7"
I feel like
guard.
we've talked about this. I feel like I keep asking about them. I'm like, "Who's that guy?" And you're like, "Oh, it's
He's
Henley."
yeah, he was one of the more interesting players, at least to me, just because he's a big guard that scored like
Hmm,
18 a game for Grand Canyon. I don't know how much it's gonna translate, but I think he is gonna be on the cruise. So there's Ibuka with another steal and fouled in
gotcha.
transition.
Doesn't Dan Marley teach at Grand Canyon or a coach?
Does he?
Did he used to? Or did he teach women's basketball?
Mm, like Grand Canyon's an interesting institution. Thunder
Former head
Dan.
coach at Grand Canyon.
There you go.
I remember because so my dad, he went to CMU
Mm.
and he did journalism and he actually coined the name Thunder Dan.
Did he really?
Yeah,
That's
because
crazy.
it was and it's one of those things where there was Thunder someone else, I don't even know who was, and he was Lightning Dan. And then the
Mm.
Thunder guy retired, he
Nice.
flipped it over, Thunder Dan,
Okay.
and since then, and it's one of those things that he holds true because he did sports reporting for a long time
Gotcha.
up north here in Traverse City.
Awesome.
And yeah, that's just one of my things that people are like, oh, there's no way. And I went on a Phoenix Sun podcast like 3 years ago and said it. People are like, there's no way. I'm like, can't prove me wrong.
Right.
So
It's
I'm just
true.
gonna
It's
keep
just
going.
true.
It's right.
That's funny.
But yeah, he has some stories like Shaq made fun of his perm
Okay.
in the press room. So that dates him a little bit from when this was. But fun stories like that.
I'm gonna pull back up the live stats for us. Bryce Williams hit a three off an Ibuka pass. That was pretty good.
Hmm.
Ibuka's got 4 steals.
Oh, somebody said they tweeted one time about Greg Monroe be the franchise player.
Hey,
He was
I thought,
awesome. He is my
yeah,
favorite Piston. Greg
I
Monroe,
love Moose.
because I just remember playing 2K11 my career, and the first game is up against Greg Monroe,
Mm,
or you're against. What would it be? It was like either with him versus DeMarcus Cousins, or it was one or the other. But I
that's
just remember
right.
playing with
Yeah,
Greg Monroe the entire time.
I was a big fan of him. Um, when the Pistons signed Josh Smith, I was like, oh, like wow, like, that's a big signing. Like
Hmm.
it was a big deal, and that's really when I first got back into it.
Yeah.
And man, that was a painful time. But we got the Anthony Tolliver effect. We got the Tolliver effect from that. We brought in after we waived Josh Smith. Um,
Hmm.
so many crazy Pistons memories. Here we are, finally, a winning team, and everyone's way more mad than they were then.
Yeah. Yeah, and we just have so much chaos right now too. It's like we had that one season from heaven, and now it's like, well,
Yeah,
here's something crappy again.
Corey turned it over there, trying to go cross court.
Yeah. It's one of those things where it's like, I'm just glad he didn't go to a franchise that doesn't have a franchise point guard, and he was being tasked to be that guy because, I mean, it's one of those things where I think he can do it all. Like at Stanford, we saw that he had to be the scorer
Hmm.
because it was just situational, and I think we all know he does have that feel of the game to be like a traditional playmaker as well when needed. But man, if he was the only guy on that court, like supposing to set the offense and do all of that, I don't know how I'd feel about that. But like the fit with Cade being able to do both things at once, where both can play on, well, he can play off, they can both be on, like do those different things. It's just going to be so easy. Like I feel like both
Yeah,
of them are going to have such a good time playing with each other.
yeah. I think he should be able to be good off ball at some point. I know he did some in high school, but he really a lot of the off ball stuff with him is pretty like theoretical at this point still, right? Like he just
Yes.
really didn't show it in college. So um I guess I in my head at around the time of the draft, I was thinking like But it's also the same for Bennett Sturts. Bennett Sturts has been on ball his entire college career to every stop, like almost the
Yeah.
entire time. And I know he's like people thought of him as more of the catch and shoot guy, and Okorie is the dribble rim creation guy. But I think Okorie can shoot better than advertised. So if the shot's good, then yeah, I think there shouldn't really be any problem.
I need to look some of this up. It says he made 34% of his catch and shoot threes, exact same volume as pull up triples. Excuse me, sorry. I'm gonna have to look up some of this stuff because I think that's the next level kind of research for me is kind of figuring out some of those off ball metrics and how it will fit into what I mean we've seen from this Pistons team and their guys with Cade.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Um, while y'all are here, please like the video. Right now we have 65 people in here. Thank you all for listening,
Wow.
but we only have 15 likes. So more than half of you, please like the video. It really does a lot for us getting to a wider Pistons audience, growing this great community. We have Mark coming in
Yeah.
from Knoxville, Tennessee. Thank you for watching, Mark. I appreciate you letting us know where you're
Wonderful
watching
place.
from. Um, yeah, I guess so far, if y'all are just tuning in, Chaz Lanier had 17 points, very loudly, very early. And he's definitely been the best shot maker of the game so far. Okorie's got 7. He's on 2 of 5 from the field, 2 of 4 from the free throw line. I don't know how they're counting free throw stats right now, but 2 assists, 1 rebound, 2 turnovers, and 4 steals.
Hmm. 4.
4 steals.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and I want to watch how those look because I don't know how many. I think but there's definitely had a few in transition. Um,
Hmm.
yeah,
This has been a good time. I've been having fun so far.
absolutely. Well, I love doing this,
It
and summer league is pretty like it's chill. If Corey's going off the
yeah.
court, we can do more of a podcast.
Yeah, I'll tell you, like, there were so many plays you're like, "Oh, and this happened." I'm like, "I don't even have this open." Like, earlier, I was looking up Demboya stuff, and
Uh-huh. Oh, Gary Harris is getting interviewed right now. He's got a Pistons nameplate.
oh my gosh, I didn't even think that was Gary Harris. It's like the Kenny Atkinson thing. It's just like I saw him, and I was like, "Oh, who's this old guy?"
This might be the one and only Gary Harris interview with the Pistons with the logo next to him. I don't know, man. We'll have to see.
Ooh,
Um, it reminds me of some of the who was the one guy we signed that just for training camp and then he got cut? Was it Joe
Joe
Johnson?
Johnson,
Joe Johnson.
because that was the Christian Wood thing that led to
Christian
Christian
Wood.
Wood.
Yes, Christian Wood. That's a
That
big one. We got a BD Buster from Green Bay. Thank you for listening from Green Bay, even though we got some beef, a little bit.
I'll tell you something, and I think this might get me some hate.
Okay.
I'm a Bears fan.
You're a Bears fan. How is that?
So, the biggest thing is so I don't watch a lot of football, or I didn't a few years ago,
Okay.
and there's a reason for all of this, and it's because I play dynasty football,
Mm-hmm.
fantasy football, so you keep the same players every year if people don't know, and then you draft in the rookies, and I lucked into getting Caleb Williams. I traded, like, Brock Purdy in a second after, like, a really bad, like, stretch of games beginning of his career, but I'm like, generational talent, at least what he's touted as, I'll get him. So then I watch a lot of podcasts, and I watch podcasts of guys that I have because I want to keep up to date. I want
Of
to be on the
course.
head of the trade market, all that stuff. But anyways, then I ended up getting Luther Burden, Colson Loveland. I'm like, well, here I am.
You
Ben
just became a
Johnson's here.
Bears fan
Let's
off
do it.
that. Okay. I got
So
you.
it's all based off of fantasy football.
Wow. What was your relationship with the Lions then, being from Michigan? You just weren't into them?
I tried. Like some my best friends were like, dude, you have to watch the Lions. Matthew Stafford's great. And I said, yeah, but I don't want to watch us lose all the time. Like I watched the Green Bay, that one miracle play,
Oh yeah, I
it,
watched that in my basement. I
whatever it's
didn't.
called.
I just turned. I yelled at my dad. Said, "Hey, quiet down there!" I said, "Look what happened." He came. He said, "Oh," like he was like, he understood why I was so mad.
Yeah, and it's like so much pain, and it's like I really I credit the people who do. Like my in-laws, who I said were huge Spurs fans and are Spurs fans, they're also huge Lion fans. Like
Mm,
they are diehard,
I
and it's
bet.
like I
Yeah.
respect that because we'd go over every Thanksgiving and watch a butt whooping. But it's like there's now like change, and they look like a great team for time coming. So
Yeah. Well, there's lots of future for both of those teams for sure. Ebuka just had a tough like fast finish that he missed, and then they got a turnover. I don't know if did he
Hmm,
force that steal as well, or was that yeah, he has 5 steals now.
hmm.
Um, yeah, the finish was a little sporadic there, a little chaotic. Um, I said now everyone gets Singlinger's praises after crapping on him after game 1. That is true.
Yeah.
I'm involved, so I'm gonna I'm gonna make sure I give him his credit. It was a disappointing game 1, but definitely looks good out here now. Bryce Williams is just dribbling into traffic. Um, I don't know how much more of him we're gonna be forced to watch. Roddy Gale's looking good though. You know what? The Pistons have 2 guys on their roster, on their summer league roster that played in NAIA, which is like below D1 and D2, and neither of them have gotten any minutes so far. I'm hoping they can kind of get some run at some point,
Yeah.
maybe game 4 when probably Okorie's not going to play, and I don't know if anyone else is there. Maybe Isaac Jones. I don't know if anyone else is not going to play by the time we get to game 4, but I hope they get some opportunities.
I feel like Chaz is one of those guys. I don't know if he's gonna be playing all 4.
That's probably true. You're right. Probably Chaz and Okorie would be the ones that by game 4 are not playing.
Hmm. If someone blows up second half of this game and then game 3 absolutely blows up, I mean, it's potential, but it's like this isn't the roster where I feel like you can have that luxury.
Yeah.
It's not something you wanna do. Like, have him play a little bit then at least, like,
Oh my.
"Oh,
Hey, I was about to be mad at him for taking that shot, but he made it. Aaron said Okorie's struggling inside. Yeah, it's been a bit more of those concerns that we heard about going into the draft. You've kind of seen a little bit of here. Um,
hmm."
More compared to game 1 at least.
What I'm liking though is he's still getting contact to where it's like a 50. Oh, that I thought that was a block. Okay. It's at least
He got his hand
50-50
on it.
if man,
Yeah.
50-50 if it's gonna be a foul call.
Hmm.
Because he's getting the contact, he's doing what he needs to do, and it's like, I just hope to see him finish through a little better.
Isaac Jones is doing a lot. I think that's a slogan for Isaac Jones. Is he's doing a lot. Not necessarily good or bad. He just does a lot.
And I get it's good for the players to get these contracts like 2 ways before summer league, but for like the teams, I kinda wish they would wait,
Yeah.
see what you have it be kind of like an open tryout competition, and it's like, I guess then it's like you can secure the player if they blow up, so then it's like
Yeah, it's trying to call your shots basically.
exactly. Because I remember Duncan Robinson, he was with the Lakers summer league, and then Miami swooped him up, and I think this was before
Mm.
definitely before 2 ways, but,
No, that's
um,
probably yeah, that's true.
either way, he played for them, and then they didn't do anything about it. I feel like that's happened a few times for the Lakers.
Lakers for sure have some summer league. He played for them kind of guys. Meleek Thomas misses there. He was another. He was like an early second round pick for the Cavs. The Cavs don't really have any premier prospects in this game. Meleek Thomas is 12 though. He scored it pretty well. 1 of 5 from 3 though. Goes for a kind of a tough finish there that he can't hit.
Okay, I looked it up. Duncan Robinson, I guess, didn't play for the summer league for the Lakers. I don't know
Interesting.
which white
The,
shooter I'm thinking of
there's definitely I forget who. Hmm.
because I'm okay. I'm gonna do a rabbit hole search. I'll be back.
Yeah, Corey can't finish there. That was not a great
Hmm.
look. Um, so Corey's he's at 2 for 7 now from the field. So you're hoping in the second half to see a little bit more efficiency. But that being said, the thing that I really wanted to make sure also looked good in this game was kind of the ability to take care of the ball. He does have 3 turnovers. I think a couple of them have been in some tough passes that I'm not sure he would totally be making during the regular season, but he hasn't gotten like stripped a lot, and stuff like that. They said not a great.
No.
Aaron said not a great half for Corey. 3 turnovers to struggle to finish inside. Definitely want to see more from him
Hmm.
in the second half in both of those areas. Chaz though, certainly the player of the half. They're interviewing him now with 17 points, and then Bryce Williams is 12. He's 4 of 6 from 3. Um, yeah, well, he's a +7, so I can't believe that's true, but it is.
Really, +7 right now?
Yeah, Bryce Williams is. Chad's is leading the team with +13. And yeah, we're at halftime, y'all. But if you're just joining us, we're not just talking summer league. We're talking anything Pistons or NBA
Yeah.
or just naming old Pistons players that we used to watch.
It's vibes. It's immaculate right
And
now.
it's a great time.
Y
But please hit the like button if you're on your way
yes.
in. Definitely would appreciate that.
and drop a follow. Like, this is where I learned about all these summer league guys, and it's like if you're looking at some of these players, like, I don't know who that is. It's a good idea to watch, and then you can get some ball
That's
knowledge.
true. I do have a video y'all can go check out as well. It's called Every Pistons Summer League Player in 60 seconds. In the video, I said 90, and then I edited it, and I said, wait, all these are 60 besides one. I'm just gonna change the title to 60.
Yeah.
So go check that out.
Well, hey, you
Um,
you crossed 600 subscribers.
oh, there we go. Awesome.
Congratulations
Thank
to
you
you.
guys. I have like I don't know. I've tried to. I got this like bot thing that'll show the recent subscriber number and stuff.
Hmm,
But
that's
OBS is
nice.
a lot, you guys. I don't know. There's a
Oh,
lot going on back here on the back end.
it is very overwhelming.
Let me give a stat update. I got you, Antoine. Absolutely. So far, leading the game for the Pistons is Chaz Lanier. He's got 17 points on 5 of 8 from three. And Ebuka Okorie so far in this game has 7 points on 2 of 7 from the field, 3 assists, but 3 turnovers and 5 steals. So mixed bag for him. Definitely some great defensive impact. Also, does definitely look a little bit smaller going up against a taller guard.
Yeah.
Has turned it over a few times, but also there's been a lot of plays where everything looks very easy for him. So, like I said, not the most if I think game one was much better for him, but this isn't like a discouraging game really.
Yeah.
Just some of the struggles I anticipated seeing in game one showing a little bit in game two.
It is kind of one thing I'm gonna check real quick before I finish this thought. Meleek Thomas, 185. So he's 6'5", 185, and that's just like pure height. It's not like
Oh yeah, he's not.
it's not like it's strength that's getting to him, which is kind of the one thing I'm looking at and just like I'm noticing. And I just kind of want to see how he rebounds this second half because I mean you're gonna see some big bodies in the NBA. Like even if they're 6'3", you're gonna see some 210, 220s.
Yeah,
So it's
and
like,
Naquan Tomlin's 6'8" as well. So like you might have seen him get guarded by him
hmm,
a little bit as well, and he's a big
yeah.
guard. So there's some interesting bodies they can throw at him.
And
Um,
also think about when you have him in Cade minutes, you're gonna have not the best defenders
mhm.
guarding him, especially the guard defenders. You're gonna have a lot of them guarding, like those bigger guys guarding Cade. You're gonna have a lot of those big guys even sagging off of a SAR to play help. Um, and I mean, even Duncan Robinson to try to meet the jump shot.
Yeah.
So it's like I feel like the weaker defenders are you're definitely gonna have a core kind of garnering some of that.
Mhm.
And it's all about JB, how he can scheme to kind of get him in his spots and to get him in positions to where he's not being guarded by OG Ananobi or things like that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
he should have an easier time at least with less defensive attention on him,
Mhm.
this level. Antoine said, "How is Roddy doing?" I think he made it both of it, or I think he made a couple shots. Yeah, he's got 5 points. He's 2 of 2
He
from the
did.
field, so he's still 100%. And then Onyenso did have some better rim protection, I thought, in that corridor. He had a
Yeah.
couple of blocks there, so better to see him, impacting the game a bit on defense.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
looking at the blocks. I don't remember seeing the blocks. Like
One
I
of them
said,
you
but
called out. I think he definitely got a hand on that one. He got credit for it.
oh,
Um,
he did.
yeah, I think he got a hand on
Because
that
that
one.
one went flying out to the perimeter. Like I thought that was just a straight up pass. I
I,
think you're right.
I think he just he clipped it a little bit. And then I'm not
Oh, I
sure. Yeah.
sorry, I figured out who it was I was talking about.
Okay.
It was Cole Swider.
Cole Swider. Okay.
It was not Duncan Robinson. It was because I just thought of white shooter for the Lakers that got signed by the Heat, and I was like, "Well,
Mm,
that's gotta be Duncan Robinson."
it was actually yeah, that's
Yep.
right.
So never mind, it doesn't mean anything at this
Former
point. So just
Piston.
everybody forget.
2 games.
It a weird era.
How many? Yeah, that's crazy. He played in 2 games for the Pistons during the 24-25 season. What?
Hmm.
Let me look at this rotation he played with. He played 9 minutes in a game with. We started Jaden Ivey, Tim Hardaway Jr., Malik Beasley, Jalen Duren, and Asar Thompson. Played 9 minutes off the bench.
Yeah, that's just I no recollection.
Me neither. I did not know he was a Piston until I clicked on his name. Wow,
Um,
that's good for that one game. Have you played that game where you like? And all the basketball like trivia games where like you have to
Mm,
mention a player that played for these two teams. I bet
yeah,
nobody would say Cole Swider. So I
yeah, I can't is that Immaculate Grid?
think so.
Is
Yeah, that
East
sounds
it might be
right.
the basketball or NFL version.
Yep. No, but that's the one I think.
Oh, yes, it is, correct, yeah, you're right. They have all these different versions.
Mm.
Okay, Bruce Brown,
I
what are your
love Bruce
thoughts?
Brown. I
He was my
love Bruce
favorite.
Brown. I also thought Kyrie Thomas was gonna be legit.
Oh,
His sister retweeted me one time.
really?
I was just like asking for Kyrie Thomas opportunities. But I like Bruce Brown.
Yeah, he's one that, I remember when Troy Weaver got here, and I was thinking new regime, they're gonna kinda give Bruce Brown the ball, like, he's gonna have an opportunity here being one of kind of the old heads on this team, and, I remember, I got married in October of that year, like, that he got traded.
Mhm.
That would have been 2020, and I bought his basketball card autographed out of 5 or out of I can't remember what it was. It was an out of 5 rookie patch autograph,
That's awesome.
and I was like, "This is beautiful. I'm gonna treasure this as he becomes something great." And the next week he was traded. I was like, "Well,"
Yeah.
and I lost the sell window. I should have sold it when he blew up with the Nets, but, yeah, I didn't, and it's still somewhere in this man cave. I don't know.
Somewhere over there. Yeah, we're about to get back underway, y'all. So if you're just tuning in, this box on the screen is about to finally have a scoreboard in it. You can sync up your game with us if you'd like to. Um, yeah, the Cavs' length has definitely bothered Corey more.
Hmm.
Uday he only played 8 minutes in the first quarter, but he is a shot blocking guy in the draft from this year. So he's the Cavs' big man. That is pretty much his primary skill. Um, Definitely had some impact in Miami.
Who did you say that was?
Uday, it's Ernest Uday.
Why am I looking at the Suns game? What? How did this happen? Okay. Thought you said Amude, and I was
No, no,
thinking
no.
of, I was like, wait a minute. There's some lore there. Okay. All I can think of is Udo. Ep what's that first name?
Is it Ernest Uday? Yeah, I think it's
No,
Ernest Uday. You're
no,
thinking
yeah, his name. I'm thinking of the big man.
of Udo.
Anyways, that besides the point.
There you
Okay,
go.
there we go. Nice little floater.
It's Ekpe Udo, right?
Yep, 100%.
Yeah.
Yep, yep,
I
yep.
remember his name. I don't remember much about him
Yeah,
besides
I
him
don't
being
know why I
big,
brought
but
that up. I'm
it
bringing
was
that up
close.
as a Corey hits a beautiful floater, and it's like, a floater, who cares? We're talking about old big men. Oh, that was a
Can't quite corral the defensive rebound there. But hey,
that
Corey
was
got to the
there was
rim
some
early.
energy. Yeah,
We like to see it.
I'll there's effort. Maybe a second effort, if I'll say.
There you go. We got Coach Calipari on the screen now. No Pistons interview so far. What's going on?
You're right. None of them.
Yeah,
Gary Harris. That's it.
That's okay. That's actually
Well,
crazy.
I don't think we should count that though.
I don't know.
Um, okay, let's see.
Couple of chat. Someone said I remember being excited about Cole Swider because saw him light it up in summer, and then he shot his bet as Bayheim for us. Oh man, Buddy
Nepotism,
Bayheim.
man.
Yep. And I wouldn't mind if the
Herbert.
Pistons would go after Peyton Watson. What do you think they would get target, or what do you think they would target him? He's a nice option and not that expensive. I think we probably just don't have the flexibility to do it anymore. I think if you would have told me going into the offseason, they would go after him, and if they offered him 30, they could get him. That's great. I saw a report from I think it was Mark Stein that said that they're if the Nuggets are signing and trading him, they're looking for a Walker Kessler package, which I just that's just not going to
Hmm,
happen. Like there's no way. Um, they literally got 2 first and 2 pick swaps like the Jazz did. So
yeah.
I feel like the most likely option is just him going back to Denver.
Yep. I think the Clippers is there, but it's like with all of this Kawhi back
Why
and
did the
forth.
Corey just take a one leg three? What I need to see what just happened. But yeah, I think you're right. I think the Clippers are certainly one to look at. I'm gonna rewind this.
I'm gonna follow suit because
Well, it looks like what's happening is Bryce Williams is dribbling the clock out, and then I mean, there's
So it was a
still 3
necessity.
seconds. I don't know if you had to do that.
It's summer league. Try
It
something.
is, and that's the thing, guys. I know we're
Oh,
talking about the everything going on. Not much of this is really gonna translate to the regular season. So
yeah. And that's the funny thing. It's like I feel like the bad, it's just it is what it is. You can't really account for that. You kind of have to look at just the good.
yeah, it's tough because I just try to not to make like sweeping statements off of summer league games or like it's just nice though to see what you had in your mind play out in the court. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like it's like trying not to change too many of my takes on players as players just from watching summer league. But for some of the guys, I guess to me it's like I know more about Onyenso's like readiness to impact the game in a negative way. I don't know how many guys I can for sure say after watching summer league they're absolutely like changed my perspective on them in a positive way, I guess. Maybe Okorie, I mean, he's got 6 steals, so maybe his defensive concerns that are a little bit less to worry about.
And we did see Meleek Thomas get a did he get that called as a yeah, a 4-point play off of a Corey, and he jumped into a Corey, and there wasn't, like, any
Mm,
substantial contact. That was just
yeah. Look, it's summer league for the refs, guys. Yeah.
yeah, I guess so. I
I think they have some newer refs around, so that's probably also some of what's going on.
and those are so hard to call in real time. I just couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
Oh, who? Oh, nice drop off, but then it doesn't oh, wow. He got that ripped. Oh, and I'm still behind, ain't I? I'm at
I
8
think
minutes.
just a
Is
bit. I just hit the go live button. Antoine said, "Yes, I'm really just the dippier prospects, toes in the water, not necessarily wins and losses." That's
mm,
true. I mean, like I don't really care much about it if the Pistons win this game or not. Hopefully,
yeah.
we don't have any summer league betters in here. We had 76ers betters and Pistons betters last time. But yeah, mostly just excited to see these guys play in a Pistons jersey. But yeah, Buka's a 3 for 10 right now from the field. Missed that only three. I want to see him get more 3 point attempts that are
Mm.
in the flow of things. More whether it's those side steps and step backs he was taking in game one, maybe some off ball stuff. That's kind of what I'm hoping to see a little bit of.
Mm. Yeah. We can dream.
Hmm.
So, what would you say would be, like, the absolute failure for this season? Like, I think there's a lot of options you could go down. You could either I mean, there's the obvious, like, there's injuries, we don't make the playoffs, but it's like, what would you look at which is, like, the best of the worst failures? Does that make sense?
Yeah, so I saw is interesting because I saw Q posted last week, I think, or this past week, about what if the Pistons, let's say they win 50 plus games, they make it to the second round, and they lose again, but this time it's to a better team, and the Pistons, like their best players, so like Cade, Asar, Duran, and maybe a Corey, you see like development from them and like into being the next tier of player, but they lose again in the second round. Would that be I think that would still be probably considered a failure, but like
Hmm.
does making the conference finals is that then the line that it is? I guess would it be the conference finals you have to make it there? Because
I
the East does seem like there's some better teams, and if
mm,
I think we were totally in there with the Cavs last year. Yeah, like what if we get a tougher matchup than the Cavs? I guess.
yeah, I don't that's hard for me to talk and to say, but just because I feel like every year is just so different when you're
Yeah.
talking about who you're playing, and, I don't know, maybe I'm just, like I'm super optimistic most of the time, but it feels like sometimes I can be pretty pessimistic when it comes to where the Pistons are comparing to other teams, and
Hmm.
when I looked at the Cavs and people were saying, like, "We're just as good as the Cavs, we should be better, we were the first seed, all this," but it's like they still have
We just saw it on Yenso 3.
okay, 5 minutes ago, I was gonna say, hopefully we get one of these soon because he can stretch the floor.
I saw it. You did
And
it.
I should have said it because I
You
could have
said
clipped that and this.
yes, you could
But
have.
maybe I'll make something up and say I said it and it lagged.
There you
But,
go. That was
I don't
awesome.
know. I just feel like the Cavs are their build just felt so much more refined than what we
Well,
had last year.
the intimidating thing to me about the Pistons and Cavs matchup when I was like, because I went to Game 7 against the Magic, and that was a great time.
Oh, you were
After
there.
yes, it was like the second game I got to go to this year. The first game was the regular season game against the Magic. Somehow
Mm,
it was during like
yeah.
the NBA Cup, and we lost to them on some late stuff. But I was at the Magic game and we won, and I was driving back to Cincinnati. That's where I'm at now. And on the way back, I was listening to Raptors and Cavs, and I was trying to think in my head, like, what do I like about if either matchup is who we get? And with the Cavs, I was really just thinking, like, man, like Tobias Harris has been carrying so much of this offense in this series. He to me, he generally struggles against a guy like Evan Mobley, where the guys just
Yeah.
have way more length on him, right? And Mobley's obviously a great defender, so like that did concern me. That's why I was like, man, like I know the Raptors have been the you know NBA nerd darling, like the
Mm,
people are, but I'd still wanted to play the Raptors over the Cavs because I was like, that's where the offense is coming from right now. And I think that the Cavs would be able to neutralize that. And, Tobias still had a couple of games, but he ran out of gas. And I think they were able to defend him much better. And we really just had no other secondary answers that were
yeah.
consistent, like a little Marcus Sasser, a little Paul Reed. But we still went to 7 games with even with like during basically no showing. So I don't know.
The thing that has kinda gotten lost within, like, the awesome season we saw from Cade was and people might hate on me for this, but it's like the total collapse he had. There were like 2 games in a row where it was just like 4 straight possessions of turnovers or just crazy shots, and then it kinda led to the Cavs just walking away with some wins, and I wanna go back and actually watch the end of some of those games because I remember being so disappointed in the moment, being like, how did this happen? Like, how did we get here?" Cade's having a great game throughout, and then it's just like 2 minutes of just kinda like, just it didn't just feel thought out from
Yeah.
him, and it just felt maybe, like, overwhelming the first time I've really ever seen him kind of, like, in a light is too bright moment,
I
and
feel like,
obviously, you learn from that, but it's like,
yeah.
I don't know.
I think a lot of that was probably just him getting kind of gassed in these games. Like he just came
100%
back
too.
from the collapse along. Like that's where I'm willing to say, But that being
Yes.
said, the turnovers has it's not like there's a new problem. I think it's gotten better, but like it definitely resurfaced a little bit. I think some of that's just kind of probably trying to get back into top conditioning. And I'm sure that this year he's going to attack it just like he did last year. Like this year he was so
Mhm.
much better late in games. Like I think we're going to see another improvement next year. There's not too many ways that Cade can improve like that, but I think his conditioning could definitely keep improving, and the focus late in games, making sure they were taking care of the ball in those key moments. That's what Ebuka Okorie, if he can, even if it's not this year, let's say it's next year that he's closing games with Cade, like
Yeah.
that's going to be a big help for him. To see he's actually someone that's probably the best dribbler on our team right
There's a
away.
comment from
He's got doubled
Antoine.
there. Yep. He said,
Oh,
"Well,
when you're
you're the
the
only
only
person
person
scoring."
scoring. Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead,
you're
sorry.
bringing. Oh, you're good. And bringing the ball up court constantly, you're gonna run out of gas sometimes. This happiness is a result of you having
Yeah,
to do everything. Exactly.
and I hope I didn't sound too much like a hater for Cade because you bring up the great point I didn't think about, and that's the other part with, like, the collapse long wearing a literal flap jacket or flak jacket, whatever it's called. But just, like, a huge layer of padding, and it's like, I mean, gassed, physically, mentally, I mean, fighting through injuries like that, like, you might it's not just physical, it's mental too. Just, like,
Corey just went for a dunk and he didn't quite land it, but it was a fun attempt. I'll put it that
it
way.
but all that being said is just like, yeah, K just had so much on his plate. Like, I'm excited this year because I feel like the players we got to kind of surround him with. And I rewound it to kind of watch this dunk attempt. Yeah, wow, that was pretty.
It was
Like an
loud.
inch or
Yeah.
two low.
Um, Isaac Jones is basically dribbling the entire shot clock out and then gets blocked. Um, Aaron mentioned a great play from Corey, said a drive and a good patience, and then kicking out for three, good adjustment. I'll have to
Mm,
go back and take a look at that, but thank you for shouting that out. Um, but yeah, not as efficient today for our number one pick. But y'all in the chat, we're at 23 likes. Thank you so much. But please keep hitting the like button if you haven't already. It does a lot for our channel, getting in front of more Pistons fans, and it can grow our
yeah.
community. So thank you so much to everyone that's already done that. And
And
let us know where
subscribe.
you're
You're over
watching from.
600.
Yep.
We
We're
talked about
looking
that
at
earlier.
we're the next big goal is gonna be 1,000. So that's a little bit of ways away. But I appreciate everyone that's been liking the content and giving me your feedback in the comments and everything. I really appreciate everyone is taking the time to watch some of the Pistons content I've been able to do.
Yeah, I remember the tweet you made when you hit 500. That wasn't that long ago.
I know. I think I actually tweeted when it's 400 too.
Yeah.
And it's all been so fast. So y'all are amazing. I'm very overwhelmed by how much support y'all have already given me with this channel. So yeah, definitely looking to have more awesome guests on the show and stuff. Try different stuff. I think I've done mostly short form stuff, but probably some podcast stuff in the future. Plenty of fun stuff.
And yeah, that's the best thing is kind of doing that versatile content.
Yeah. No, I like doing a
Okay,
lot of
here we
everything, a little
go.
everything right now. Oh,
Oh,
Roddy Gale's a
looked scary.
problem. Yeah.
He's a big body. Big body Roddy 2.0.
Whoa. Tomlin's huge. Meleek Thomas has got 18. And for us, Chaz has 20. That's the leading scorers right now in this one.
Yeah, yeah, 17 at the half, I think. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I'm pretty sure he had all that in the first quarter.
He has 17. Oh, yeah, yeah. So Onyenso went 10 for 36 from three at Virginia.
Okay. Good percentage, not a lot of volume, but it's something.
That three was awesome. When he makes a three, it's so exciting. On his
It's like me playing 2K
no,
in the
for
rec
real.
when it's like I'm a big man and I get it and I wait a second and then I put it up. I'm not one of those instant shoot it, like hold down left trigger and be ready, but it's like for him, he kind of took his time to load up there.
Yeah, they give him an extra second. You're like, okay, it's time. Antoine says, I like Roddy. He has a Pistons attitude. I do too. I hope he gets an opportunity at some point. First with the Crews, and then if they didn't have all their two-way spots locked up, I would have said one of them. But it sounds like they already got their guard
Hmm.
with Elijah Harkless. Maybe they'll. I don't know. I don't know how ironclad those are. Maybe they'll waive him and send someone else. But Cesar just said Naquan Tomlin might be the first guy I ever want to scrap in a summer league game. That's why I said, because he looked mad, and the ref was kind of stopping him. He's mad after the Bashir Jihad dunk, little shove.
Hmm. I need to find a clip of that.
No, I hear you, Aaron. There's just a lot. I mean, I don't know. I guess I just don't like Isaac Jones that much. And Onyenso's really struggling, but he's gonna get one because he was a draft pick. So,
Yeah.
um, I don't know. I'd probably just switch out for me one of them for Isaac Jones, but also Isaac Jones is like the position of need, I guess. Like
Man, that's just
he's
I don't
not
know.
that good. I don't know.
Yeah, I really hope they didn't do a two-way based on need. Just I feel like that's not what you need to do, and I feel like that's not what Langdon has traditionally done. Because I mean, even in New Orleans, because I remember looking this up at one point. I'm gonna have to look up Pelicans two ways as well because it's like pretty sure Alvarado started there,
Yeah,
and it's just like he's always done a good job, even though he wasn't like the main guy running the show over there. But getting those gems,
Skate said how many points does Okorie have? He has 11.
it's been a hard fought 11.
It
I can
has.
off the top of my head think of 5 points and free throws, a bunch of them so far.
Yeah, it's definitely been up and down. Didn't give Roddy that spot. I think Isaac was a throw in. Isaac got it last year, and they decided to keep him around. Um, Even
Mm,
after the Pistons made they had to cut him at the deadline, and they brought him back on a two-way. So they originally had him on a standard contract, and then brought him back for a 2-year two-way. So that's why he's still on it now. But those are fluid. I don't think we need to. It's not that big of a deal, to be honest. Um, We got some Ibuka-less minutes, so we got back with the Drake Allen and Roddy Gale lineup. Like I said, I would like to see one of them maybe on the floor with our starting guard, but
Mm. Ooh,
Roddy has
let's
not
make a
missed
move.
you guys.
He's an interesting one. He's kind of a slow paced, just a big body guy.
And he doesn't in college he was not really a shooter. So that's
Mm.
interesting that he's not missed a shot, you know. He seems like he does all the rest of the stuff good. I'm not super into college basketball. I don't know how much you watch college basketball. I don't really have a team I care about, so like it kind of just limits my interest. I think definitely around the time of the tournaments, I try to catch myself up, and there might be some guys I monitored, especially now that I'm doing some Pistons content, maybe for that purpose. But just as a fan in the past, I haven't really. There's been years where I watched more than others. Went to
Yeah.
Texas Tech for grad school, so that's kind of the team I root for the most, but I don't really care about them. So
Yeah. I'm not a huge college hoops guy, not a huge college football guy. Um, it's pretty strictly NBA. And it's like, I
okay,
feel like a lot of people say, like, you should watch college basketball. Those are the guys who are going to be in the league. And it looks like they're already like all stars playing against G Leaguers. That's kind of what it is a lot of the time. But I don't know. I've just never been able to bring myself to do it. Like, I don't have a
rooting
big
interest,
tie to
yeah.
Michigan State. Like, my wife graduated from Michigan State. So it's one of those things where she has that. I don't. I graduated from CMU. It's like, who was
Home
the
action for you.
yeah, who was the guard that, like, did something only whose record did you was it a Larry Bird record? It's like 5'10".
Hmm, I'm not sure. Yeah,
Can't
Aaron,
remember.
I think that's part of it. I just it's not pretty to watch either. That being said, it sounds like with some of at least some of the NIL guys returning, there should be some more talent, I guess. Just more opportunities for guys to stay at school and make some money and do that when they previously would just went right to the draft the second they could. So I know it's changed everything about it. I don't have a big opinion on the benefits and drawbacks of NIL stuff in general, but at
Yeah.
least there should be some more upperclassmen college players staying, which maybe will lead to some better basketball.
Hope so.
But lots of
Yeah.
turnover though. It's not what it used to be.
See a comment, "Should have watched Michigan play, they were amazing." Yeah,
Yeah, I
from
watched some
everything I
Michigan
saw,
games.
I need to, and I mean, they got, Cade's college coach from OSU, Oklahoma State.
Hmm. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know
So, I
how well
mean,
they were perceived to be coached. So
yeah,
I don't know if that's good or bad.
I just know it was Cade's coach, and
That's
that's
yeah,
that's why I didn't add anything
yeah.
else. No clue
No,
about
no
teams, play
analysis.
style,
Yeah, no, that's the thing.
0
Well,
analysis.
that's the
It's
thing. I'm like, hey, I'm just gonna tell y'all if I don't know some stuff because I feel like some people try to like just make a take, and I'm like, I don't see the point in doing that, y'all. I'm just trying. I'll tell you if I'm not really aware of somebody.
yes.
Um,
Yeah, for me, it's a lot of it's vibes too. Like, I
yeah,
watch back to some of my videos I make, and it's like 5 minutes of talking about this player and I like them, and it's like what I think they do a little well, but it's like sometimes the numbers, I'm just like, I don't need to bring up numbers. It's all the eye game.
and that's what I'm trying to do is like balance that with like looking at, for example, like the free agents from this year. I was really trying to figure out what is the statistical information I can give you some context about. Talk. We
Yeah.
all know these players. If it's a known player, here's some stuff I can add. But for these guys that we don't really know, I mean, they're interesting to just see for the first time.
Yep.
Um, yeah, it's a 4 point game here, y'all. We're at some Ebuka Okorie less minutes, also Onyenso less minutes. So there's really not a lot to dive into here. We
Yeah.
do have, like I said, some Roddy Gale. I think Roddy Gale's been good. Stevenson has 6 points, which is he looks pretty rough in game one. Um, yeah, Meleek
Yep.
Thomas with 3 over Roddy Gale
Something
there.
nice.
Yeah,
It's like big guards. It's always just a nice combo, especially when they have that shot.
yeah, he's
I'll tell you
interesting.
though,
Yeah,
so it's talking through some of these summer league games, it's like we could talk for 3 hours through everything that happens, but by tomorrow, none of it will mean a thing. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah,
that's
and these
the
games
tough
are
thing
like,
about these
I
summer
don't
league
know.
games.
Onyenso had a really rough game one, looking a lot better today. Chaz had a rough game one, looking a lot better today. A lot of
Yeah.
this is just gonna, come out in the wash at the end.
Yep, 100%.
So,
'Cause, like and that's the thing about because you talked about having these big takes, like, we could say, Chaz Lanier after this game, like, what could he be? Like, this is showing us this and that, like, we could be wanting to aggregate things and be clickbaity, but it's like, what's the point? Because next game, when he comes out, shoots 2 for 5 like, 2 for 8, what do we say? You know what
well,
I mean?
yeah, and you're just looking for specific things, I guess, from specific players, right? So, like,
Mhm.
I want to see what Okorie's finishing looks like at the NBA
Yep.
level instead of college. I want to see how Onyenso is able to impact the game on defense. What's he able to do on offense, if anything? You just got to
Yeah.
find those little things, and then to me, it's just what other players look like they're in control and good. Like to me, Roddy Gale looks much better than
Mhm.
most of the guys on this team. Which guys are just is their production just them being bigger than other guys and just bullying their way into the paint, like Isaac Jones. I don't know how much of Isaac Jones' game will translate because to me it seems like it's mostly just about him being bigger and like the ball
Yeah.
dominant more than anyone else. But yeah, I think Roddy Gale is a guy that I could see the way his game in summer league could look in the regular season.
Yeah. And it's the interesting thing where it's like the construction of the team we have, like, we can say that it's weak at the 3 and the 4. So then we could talk a lot about how Jones kind of fits into that potential route to be like a Jenkins, but I just don't feel like we're set up to
No,
have
yeah,
an impact that way.
I don't
Like
think
Jenkins, because
so.
he's been with the team for a bit. Like because he was with us for 2 years and then he had the blow up, right? Or was that his second
I
year?
think it was
He
his
blew up.
second year. I think. Um, yeah, Antoine said the one gripe I have with summer league, they don't play the players that actually have a chance of playing enough.
Mm,
That's true. I think they're trying to see what they want to see, but then they just get them out of
yes.
there. So
It's the same thing that we talked about. It's like you look for those little intangibles, and if they have them, it's like there's no point in potentially risking some devastating injury.
yep.
And it's the same thing with football as well. Like once you see those things early in like that combine process, that's why a lot of them sit out. It's not worth it.
Drake Allen with a steal there, and then his foot was on the line, so he couldn't quite hit the three, but he got a two. That was a good play from Drake Allen. I like him too. I think that's good. I think Roddy Gale's been the guy that's impressed me the most, but he's been pretty good too.
Um, I really liked when they went up from 2 to 3 two-ways. I really feel like they could do a fourth, especially, like,
Yeah,
with people talking about load management and talking about 82 is too many games and talking about how you need to go less. I feel like this is the perfect way to kind of give those like, give you a chance to get those diamonds in the roughs, having another player to be excited about, and then overall just, like, giving more opportunity to kind of have in-house players continue to grow, and that's what the NBA wants. They don't want like okay, I say that they don't want teams to just become for like trades and free agency because they want homegrown talent, but like the new CBA kind of killed that. And
yeah.
you see the Thunder being absolutely demolished. Like last year, this time when they won the championship, it's like, oh, friendship will always win. Like there's nothing that can stop this team, and here they are just shedding out players. But
Well,
like,
it's the cost of paying. I mean, they pay their guys a lot of money though. They got big time
yeah,
players.
but all that being said, it's like this gives more like another two-way spot would give more teams more opportunity to kind of build through having these homegrown
I
talents, which I think is good for
honestly,
everybody.
I think I don't know if I think this is a goal eventually, but like I would like the NBA system to have like every team obviously has a G League team and
Yeah.
their rosters are more. If you sign a contract with a Pistons organization, like these roster spots are more concrete than just the way they are
Yeah.
now. Like it's more of a developmental system, the way like the minor leagues are in baseball, like
Yes.
the way that it'll never happen in the NFL. Like that's kind of what like I would like to see them go towards that because it's not that many guys on these rosters, and every year you got guys that are in the G League that should be in the NBA, you got guys in
Yeah.
Europe that should be in the NBA. Like I think that could be eventually the way it looks.
Well, and especially when you talk
Oh,
about
Roddy Gale. He hit a three
a
there.
guy like that, where let's say he just signs to the Cruise, and and that's the exact thing that we end up needing 25 games in. Why can't there be some
Call him
sort of
up.
relegation for somebody that
It should just be more
ooh,
fluid, I think, you know what I mean? Like,
100%.
but
'Cause
that's
you're
a
right, if
long-term
you're
thing, I
part of the
guess.
Motor City Cruise, you're part of the Pistons, why can't it be you're in Toledo, now you're going up to the big leagues now, and it's like,
Right. I think maybe one day it could be, but maybe then you can expand the draft or do whatever they wanna do.
you watch, much Tigers?
So the Tigers were, as you can see my blanket right here, the Tigers were my, like, number 1 growing up because I played baseball
Yep,
was my main sport that I played, um, and I would watch the Tigers a lot. Oh man, Roddy Gill looks like he got hurt there.
right to the face.
Yeesh. But yeah, I was a big Tigers fan, until I would say in high school, it got to a point where I
Oh,
felt like
actually, right.
they were kinda just not trying to be competitive anymore.
Mhm.
Um, just kinda spending less money, like, letting guys go that they should have just paid. I kinda, became less and less of a fan around that time, but I was also watching less baseball, more basketball. So since then, I keep up with them like pretty casually. I'll check out a game every so often. I love going to the games.
Yep.
But since I moved down to Cincinnati, I've got a ticket package here at the Reds, which is like 10 games for $80.
Huh,
So I'm at Reds games on Tuesdays. It's their $3 hot dog night, $2 beer. So I'm at Reds games more than Tigers
that's
nowadays. I'm
fun.
watching more Reds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because you did say Cincinnati's where you're at,
Yep.
and so are you from Michigan
I'm
then?
from Michigan. Yep, that's
Sorry, I'm
where
not
I
trying to
grew up.
dox you or anything
No,
or,
no, no,
like,
you're good.
in a
I've
stream.
mentioned that it's on my Twitter. I'm in Cincinnati. Y'all can't find me though.
Well, that's kinda cool because, yeah, I live in Traverse City,
Mhm.
up northern Michigan. I grew up here, went to school here. Now I teach here. Like, I'm back after going to Central Michigan, so it's like, I'm just, like, here, not really close with that Detroit sports scene, but it's
Yeah.
like I try to go to a Pistons game a year. This year, I didn't. Try to go to Tigers game every other year or so, but anyways, the whole point of all of this was with, have you seen the clip of, Eduardo Valencia
Yes.
hitting that homer and then crying at the end? It's like, that was beautiful.
Mhm.
And the big thing for me was like the last Tigers player to hit a home run in their debut was Akil Baddoo, and then I found out that was 5 or 6 years ago.
Wow.
Baddoo
I remember
Mania
Kill
was 6
Badoo.
years
I
ago.
remember it. Yeah. That's
Like,
crazy.
it was like yesterday.
Yeah. No,
And
the
now I looked
Tigers
up,
have
he's
had
with the
some players
Brewers.
like that. Like, I bet I could find a bunch. I remember back in like during COVID when they started playing again. Like I was watching because like the condensed season, I was watching a few of those ones, and
Mhm.
so I bet if I looked at some of the names in that roster, I'd be like, "There's no, I have no idea who that is." But
One of my favorites that's been there for a while now is Matt Vierling, and
mm,
I know there's, like, somebody on TikTok that's, like, Matt Vierling fan,
yeah,
and all they do is sing, like, "My Hero," like, "Na, na, my hero," and it's just
Pistons.
about Matt Vierling. Anyways,
Pistons turn
nobody
it
wants to
over
hear this.
there, on the end off the inbound there, a little full court pressure. Or maybe they're keeping it, I don't know. Yeah, hopefully Roddy Gale's okay. Um, yeah, he's out of the game now. And we got a tie game, so they're gonna I feel like that's in summer league, if it's getting close in the 4th, they'll start getting a little more
It looks like
competitive.
they're going for Chaz. Oh,
Nah,
ooh,
it's
hit in the
Isaac Jones
face.
time. Isaac Jones.
Yeah, I was gonna say because it looked like it was set up for Chaz at the start of that, and then he
Probably.
was doing that motion around, doing that cut through the paint,
Yeah.
and it looked like it was again supposed to go to Chaz Lanier, and then you're right, it's Isaac Jones time. So he's just one of those guys.
Yeah, he's decided it's his time. Maybe he's being coached to do that, I don't know. Yeah, Henley's not been very good in this game. He's over 6 from the field, 3 turnovers. Yeesh. But yeah, to me, it's been clearly a Roddy Gale and Chaz and some good stuff from Okorie, some stuff you want to see improved.
Yeah. This is where I'll say, like, talking about wins and losses doesn't matter, but I do like the idea of these players playing situational basketball.
Yeah, they come in a
7
tie
minutes
game with
left,
7 minutes to
it's
go.
like a one-point game now. It's
Yep.
like, how can they close?
Yeah, we'll
What are
see
the
the
how did they
intensity.
perform?
We'll see the intensity raise for sure.
Another Chaz set up, shot, but just I don't know. It's just the first thing. It's like that was the end goal 5 seconds into the shot clock. You know what I mean? It's like some of those plays always get to me where just don't get to see everything through. Everybody kind of knows it's broadcasted. You're going to go to him.
Yeah. Let's see. He gets a little more space
Ooh,
there, and he misses, but Onyenso with the offensive rebound.
wait. I'm
All right.
okay. I'm rewinding that because that
They said there was an
some of
inadvertent
these
whistle,
sequences, man.
and I guess Onyenso, if he would have just put it back up, then they would have let it count. But they realized that there was a it was still Cavs ball. I don't understand what's happening. I don't know.
Oh, it was it the shot clock? I don't know. I don't have the sound on, so maybe I
Hmm.
just missed a whistle. I'm assuming so.
My
Ooh,
God. Well, at least he's making him in this one. He's had
he's
an
had 2 of those.
interesting 2 games this summer league. The Pistons Summer League team has been pretty gross to watch. This is also why you guys I'm not committing to watch-alongs for the games 3 and 4 because because of what happens in the summer league is you sit down to watch the game, you turn it on, and that's when you learn that Ebuka Okorie and Chaz are not playing, and then
Yep.
I'm not watching this team on live and trying to talk about
I'll
these
tell
other
you, I've
guys.
enjoyed the conversations we've had, and I hope the people here
For
have.
sure. No, and thank you guys all for listening. We've had a great audience in here this whole time. So appreciate everyone that's been checking us out.
Ooh,
Ibuka's yeah, back in the game here and can't
oh,
quite hit the delay.
that's one of those plays where it's like it's so different from what I said early in that first quarter when I said it just feels like the game's never sped up for him, and it felt like he knew what he was going to do for so long that he just got into his head.
Yeah,
Man,
just missed it a little bit.
the pass out, air ball from is that Isaac Jones?
That is. Yeah.
Good progression, good idea. Let's pretend that's Duncan Robinson there, quick assist. Oh man, Isaac Jones,
Hey,
you were spot on with your take, but that's a good play.
yeah, he's just kind of trying to bully him. But Onyenso with the offensive rebound and the putback, so that's nice to see. A little bit of offense. Even if it's the most basic of basic. At least he's producing a little bit.
Yep. It's a nice translatable play.
And look, he's not gonna put the ball on the floor. If he catches the pass, he's just gonna look around until someone comes to get it. Um, so that's another. I mean, he's just not gonna be dribbling.
Watching his pick and roll film, I was actually pretty intrigued watching him as a roll man because I think on his feet he looks pretty slow, but oh,
Another is
fast
that
break.
another Corey Steele? Chaz. A little bit casual there with slowing it down. That was stressing me out a little bit.
I don't even know what point I was
7
making, but
steals for a Corey.
7.
7. But 4 of 14 from the field. 0 of 2 from 3.
Does this count as? Because I remember earlier I mentioned that there's nothing that he could do to change how I feel about him being day one ready unless we see something truly egregious. Do you feel like we've reached anything
Well,
close to that territory?
I think I don't know that I'd say it's like it's hard not to get so excited after the game one debut where he genuinely showed every single thing that was like a question mark, right?
Yeah.
I think this has shown that like those questions were valid and are still valid.
Hmm.
Like I think you can have whatever your take is after the draft saying, "Oh, he's going to be, this level of shooter or this level of rim finisher in year 1." We're not going to know until it happens. So
Yeah.
I think we've just seen a little bit of the good and a little bit of the bad. I don't know that I really either way off of these 2 summer league games have really changed my opinion on him. I think what I've said after the draft and what I still pretty much believe is that to me, I'd like to see Ibuka be able to contribute positively as a real rotation spot for at least 41 games. I think that's kind of what my goal would be for him for year 1. That's just, and it's not really off of any data or anything. That's just what I would like to see. I would see
Yeah.
half the season he gets an opportunity to contribute. But he might have it might not be game one. He might have to take it from Dennis Jenkins. Um, and I think well that's going to be the interesting thing to me is training camp
Yes.
and preseason. What are the lineups like? Like I'm guessing a lot of preseason will get minutes with each of them on the floor, with them together, with them with each of them with Cade, and we'll get to see what it looks like. That's what I think is going to be more telling about how much he can contribute day one than this, which is really just like I think he said it's really his first time playing 5-on-5 since college. So like he hadn't
Yeah.
played much 5-on-5 throughout the draft process. Aaron mentioned Okorie needs to master the floater. That's definitely an area. It's a question for him. Like he's, I think he's creative as a finisher. He's athletic. Um, his height is going to bother him a little bit, but it's that in between game between. Yeah, I think he can shoot it well enough. I believe in the shot. I think he can create great finishes at the rim. But it's the floaters and the in between stuff that I think might take him a little bit longer. James, I think that's a pretty. That's the thing is I don't think we should get too high or too low off of this one game. That
Yeah.
this two games. You can say it either way. Um, but yeah, it definitely. I think his game will trend. I think the thing is I look for is more like feel for the game. You know, I don't think he's like to me. His turnovers aren't in this game. Just him being like overwhelmed and stuff like that. I think he's just tried a couple of difficult passes that he probably shouldn't have. And maybe the coaches, we don't know what the coaches are telling him behind the scenes. We don't know if the coaches are saying, "Hey, like,
Mm.
you know, be careful. Like, you need to like prioritize, like, not turning it over." Maybe they're willing to let him make mistakes and encouraging him to try to make those difficult plays. I don't know.
Like 2K career a little bit where it's like you're like, you have to do this
Yeah.
game for it to be a success
So
from your
this
coach. And
this this is what I've been asking for here. Is we have some minutes now with Roddy Gale and Ebuka both on the court. So I like that, and I hope that this is continues into game three.
mm,
Um, I think Chaz is off right now. I don't know if uh, he's hurt or anything, but oh no, Chaz is on. So which of the starters then is not out there? Is that Isaac Jones?
oh, I see him on there.
Hmm. Maybe it's no, but I thought Bryce was out there too. I don't know. Well, I guess they just took Roddy off. So,
Hmm. Well, that point out the window.
but I do want to see more of that. I like that they're
Yes.
both out there. I want to see him next to another point guard playing off ball a little bit. James, I agree. I think Roddy Gale has absolutely been the best role player in summer league so far. And that's like even if he wasn't making every shot, I think you can just see him do the little things that other guys aren't really doing. Is that not a foul? Yeah, Chaz is like
Mm.
laughing at the.
That's the one thing I've noticed this year, and I mean, it's been a few years now where it's like you see some of these summer league players and kind of the gestures they do towards officials, and it's just very much. It just feels like at this level, where you're at in your career, I don't think you should be doing that. Like it's just, it's
Well,
wild to me.
it's a lot of emotions that go on in a basketball game, so I can understand. Oh, and look at Chaz there with a contested three off the dribble. I like that. That's good.
Is that the first one that's self created? Because I feel like most of the other
I
ones
don't
came off
remember.
of.
I think I might have missed one or two, so I can't say that for sure. But yeah, I think a lot of them have come off the catch. Little two-man action, stuff like that, sidestep, step
Hmm.
backs. But this is totally just sizing up his defender, pull up jumper. So it's good to see.
Langdon looks tired.
I, I'm I
He's
don't
at
want
a
I do not envy his position right now.
yeah. There's a lot going on.
Tay Tay said I see someone say put a Ebuka on a trade block. I know. People yeah, it's look, it's easy to get caught up in the ups and downs of summer league, but we're gonna stay steady here on second effort. So thank you guys for
Yep.
sticking with us. We have a couple of minutes left of basketball. Let's see if Ibuka can score a few times here.
If I had to guess, we're not going to see much more if they can keep this lead. I think if it gets to like a 7-point lead, if it kind of slims down a little bit, we'll still see him, but I feel like he's going to be out soon if they score.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I feel like they
big
kind of
three.
just let him do whatever. Like last game, Ibuka just they just decided to run the offense even though they were down by 9. They just ran their actual play. I
Yeah.
swear, last game I saw the 76ers or one of the teams let the other team score at the end so they could get the ball back. I think the Pistons let the Sixers score so they could get the ball back with 10 seconds left. That was the most 2K thing I've ever seen because I do that if it's not like close. I'm like I'm scoring the whole time. I don't care about your unwritten rules. I don't care about none of that.
Well, I feel like he passed up a nice little step back he had there that he would have he took in the first game. Nice floater. Yeah, that was pretty far off.
Yeah, look, his first step has been really good, and
Mhm.
you can tell he's going to be able to get there. It's those floaters that's really struggled in this one, and I'm intrigued to see if like how much better he can get at those. Um, yeah, what that ends up looking like. Antoine, fans are on edge right now for the Pistons community. I think until we get some resolution on the Duran thing, even
Yeah.
past that, like it's just this is what happens when you get good. You know, it,
Mm. Ooh, that was a big fall there for Jones.
yeesh. Rodney's calling out the chat. Hey, y'all can definitely let us know your thoughts. And no basketball takes will be. Um, I like to hear them all because I'm sure I don't agree with y'all on everything, but as long as it's about basketball or being respectful, I appreciate everyone
Yeah.
that's hanging out with us and talking about this disgusting game of summer league basketball with some bright spots.
What would you say is like your most underrated kind of takeaway from today? Like we've talked a lot about Okorie, we've talked a lot
Sure.
about Chaz.
Yeah. Not. I mean, I don't want to be negative, but I think this is a reason that one single game plus minus can be not really
Yeah.
telling. Like Isaac Jones, I think has been pretty dreadful on offense, and I don't think he's really been good on defense either. But he's a plus 11, and like
Mm.
uh, I think he's shown some of the concerns that I had with game one. I think a lot of people were quick to like I don't know. He had the most points in game one, but to me, I was like, this isn't. It's not looking to me like someone that's gonna be able to do this at the NBA level. Um,
Yeah.
and it's some of his struggles tonight. I think have just been. He has 2 field goals. He has 14 points. He's getting contact, and I think that's just the thing that he's not going to be able to do at the NBA level. But my positive one's definitely just that I think Roddy Gale through 2 games has been
Yeah.
clearly the best role player. I think you've seen it. He's only played 11 minutes tonight. Like I wish he was getting more burn. Like because I think he's earned himself a 2-way spot. I'm not saying this necessarily over some of these other guys like that. Onyenso's going to keep it, but that's kind of my thoughts on this one. What do you think?
I was kind of expecting a little bit more like Drake Allen, just overall, just seeing him do a little bit more. Because I mean, last game 4 points, but it's one of those things where
He was good on
he still
defense
had
and
4
both of them. I
assists.
thought, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was just a good part of the offense. This game felt very one dimensional. It wasn't. I don't know. It just felt very much like the first thing that the offense saw. They just kind of went with it instead of kind of seeing how it can develop.
Okay.
And this is summer league. It's obviously could be coaching, but I just feel like the first game there was a little bit more flow. In this game, it felt more like kind of just trying to force your way at will into the paint and try to draw something.
I think, yeah, Ibuka just missed another layup
Mm,
that he should have hit. He's 4 of 16. I think that's got to be one of the biggest like takeaways from this game. Is just in college he only shot at like 52% at the rim, which was not very good. Like
yeah,
I forget the percentile. He was only better than like 20-ish% of point guards at his percentage at the rim. And because if you watch his highlights, pretty much everyone talking about Ebuka Okorie that didn't do their draft deep dives. They're saying this guy's the best finisher, like
yeah,
a great finisher at the rim. And I think I was even at times even after game 1 to say, "Man, like, he's a great finisher, like, I have no concerns about it." But now this is just the other side of the coin, right? This is the stuff that's not in the highlight tapes. This is the reason the percentage wasn't 60% like Jaden Ivey converted, from at the rim in college. It was 52. Um, I think he's got, I'm not trying to compare those 2 players necessarily, but I just think there's a lot more to, those concerns than maybe I gave him credit for after game 1. So I wanna say that, and I think that that's
Yes.
true.
That's a great point. I think we think of the crafty finishes and his ability to get to the rim, and
Yep, he
I
gets
I
to it.
think that's the positive for me, and especially
Yeah.
in summer league, and I mean, I think I am front of the bandwagon for saying he is gonna make a day 1 impact in the league. I think in my videos, that's something I've been very adamant on, and I think on Twitter as well, that's gained traction from talking like that. But I do think there is the world where realism hits and he does get to the rim, but do the finishes actually go down?
Mhm.
That's going to be the thing that decides if the impact is actually there to be like a dark horse top 10 redraft pick a year from now. It's that kind of inside because I think as like a shot creator from the outside, I really like his ability, but you're dead on with kind of that inside game.
I just think it might take some more time than we thought. I know that people that have concerns about his size are going to be that's what they're going to be circling today. I think you should also consider he had 7 steals today, and like I think he's been better on defense than maybe I thought he was going to be going in. So I think there's been parts about this game that have been good. I don't think he's had an all around terrible day. It's just been his finishing has not been there, and he didn't make any threes today. He only shot 2 of
Yep.
them. One of them was like a late shot clock shot. So look, this isn't his best game. Uh, let's see how he responds in game 3. But really, let's see how he looks in the fall. Let's not go too far either way with it. But look at
And there
that
we see
finish,
him get a beautiful and one to like cap it off. You know what I mean? It's like
James.
there
Yeah,
that's what we've been talking about. I mean, it's kind of that 50-50. You look at this and you say, wow, NBA ready. You look at the play before. Maybe he's also getting sandwiched by 2 guys, probably 6'6" and above, with the big probably being what, like 230.
yeah.
He doesn't look
Uday's
that
got
big.
size. Um, look, Jay, he's not going to play in the G League. That's just not going to happen. Um, I think he has a good shot to impact the team at some point this year. I don't know that it's day 1. It's been a mixed bag today, but and there's definitely ways I'm like, man, I wish the finish looked better, but it's fine. It's summer league, guys. It doesn't really matter
Yeah.
that much. That's the
And he's
bottom
young.
line.
He's young. He has a lot of room to grow.
Yep.
If
It's
if,
summer.
if Lane
Yeah.
if Lane's plan was to have a 17th overall pick be your savior, I think there's an issue.
Yep.
And I think that's kind of what he's been kind of pigeonholed in, kind of like what we had with Jenkins. And there was a comment from James. I know it's been a lot of negativity, but just talking about him being right hand dominant. And I actually want to look more into that too, because
Well,
that's actually a good tell, especially when
honestly,
your big things finishing.
I thought I saw him like I feel like his handle's really good, and I think he can dribble with both hands. I've seen
Yeah.
him get out of some difficult situations with that, and he's gone up with his left. I think some of his left hand finishes are some of the crazier ones we've seen just from trying to get something off. And
Yeah.
look, and that's the thing. Yeah, I don't know for sure. Obviously, none of us know for sure. I think I'm a bigger believer in a Corey than some of y'all in chat, and that's okay.
Mm.
Um, but we'll have to see. I just don't think there's gonna be any reason to make up your mind on Ebuka Okorie after 4 games, whether it's good or
100%.
bad. Just let's appreciate that we're seeing him play basketball. Let's if you want to circle the issues and focus on those for the next couple months, that's fine. I want to see what those look like in the fall when it gets to preseason and regular season. So, um, but yeah, overall, a mixed bag today. But I'm appreciating these Pistons games we have because y'all,
Hmm.
it's about to be the time of the off season where there's nothing going on, and this off season in particular, it's about to be just waiting for a resolution on Jalen Duren, unfortunately.
And that's all that the front office can kind of do at this point. They're kind of handicapped because, like I said earlier, there's so many numbers things that you just can't do yet until you know exactly what his annual value is going to be.
Yeah, but overall, Pistons get the win. It's funny that like this is like, and this is why summer league like is so interesting because again, game one, um, at a great time. Pistons lost. I didn't care. Game two, it's been a little bit more up and down for the guys I care about the most. But Pistons won. I don't care. So that's
Yeah.
where we're at. Um, I don't know. I feel like his jumper looked really good in game one. I mean, he only took a couple here, but
It felt very schematically different from a coaching standpoint, and it felt like it was a lot of Chaz tonight. It was a lot of design plays, and a lot of those were it was Chaz and then a shot. Where before we saw him with a lot of self-creation opportunity, and that's where I'm kinda confident that they're confident in that.
sure,
Um, it is kinda interesting though, because imagine the perspective of some of these fans and just general, like, consensus if he had the game 1 performance tonight or today, and he had the performance he had today for the first game. Like, how
hmm
would that be different? And that just shows that summer league really doesn't mean anything because it doesn't matter when he has it. He's still a good basketball player, and he's here for a reason. It's like,
we'll
I
see.
don't know. I
Yeah,
just trust Strange Langdon.
yeah, and I think we're probably more optimistic than some Pistons fans, and
Yes.
I understand if, if that's the case with you. I know a lot of people are displeased with the offseason, but look, we have a lot of time left. We'll be able to talk about it all summer. Definitely looking forward to figuring out what the heck I'm going to do as far as content. What did you used to do in the months of July, August, and September as far as Pistons content? Is there anything you have planned this offseason?
The biggest things is just talking about the little things. There was one podcast I had with Sean Murphy. He was from Half Court, and he credentialed Pistons media member. And we talked a lot about the good boys, the opposite of the bad boys. Like who would be the good boys of the Pistons
Okay.
history? Talked a lot about who would be the when the Fantastic Four movie came out. Who would be each member of the Fantastic Four? People kind of like that. It was just kind of just like
Some more fun
little
stuff.
gimmicks and
Yeah.
games, and it was a lot of just little things like that. Um,
That's where we're about to
and
be, yo. Well,
yeah,
maybe
and
between the
that's where we're
Jalen
headed.
Duren saga. So,
One of the
um,
videos has Zoo. I'm looking at the thumbnail. It has Zoolander on it, and I don't even know what we talked about.
okay,
So
I like that. Now, when I wrote for Piston Powered back in 2019, I did an article that was like the Pistons starting lineup if they were rappers. And I wrote all
yeah,
this analysis because I was, you know, really big into music. It's time to do some fun stuff. But
mhm.
um, thank you guys all for watching. Tay Tay said later, Brendan and Ledgie. Thank you for joining. James, and look, I want you to call you like you see it. I don't want you to don't feel like you got to love everything you're seeing out of him. But I think this is interesting to consider. It's a good game and an up and down game. We'll see how it plays out. But
Yeah,
thank you guys all for joining. Please hit the like button. We have 30 so far. Let's get to 40 before we get out of here. I'm not gonna hold you to that. It's not like a
we're
we're
not
not
leaving.
ending the stream until you get 40 likes. But I do want to plug something real quick. If y'all have seen, we have started doing some channel memberships, which is a cool thing that YouTube is now letting us do because we've crossed 500 subscribers. And I'm trying to, make sure that it's worthwhile for anyone that decides they want to become a channel member. It's like a monthly payment that you make. What it will do for me is it'll just help me put more money into the channel, stuff like that. Um, at the very cheapest tier here for 2.99. I'm trying to figure out what I can do. I'm doing a monthly live stream, a monthly mailbag Q&A. If you guys like the film breakdown that I just did on Ebuka Okorie, I'm gonna try to do one of those a month for channel members. You get some cool emojis. Let me put them in the chat. We got some right here. We got the Pistons logo. We got my logo. We got a Cade emoji, Jalen Duren emoji. Those are only for channel members. And then, yeah, if you guys ever just decide that you want to support the channel, this is another way you can do it. I do not ever expect people to, pay their hard-earned money. To me, that I can't even imagine it. But if anyone wants to become a member, like it truly would be very beneficial for the channel. I'm trying to keep it growing, and do more and more content for you guys. But most importantly, just like the video, give us a subscription. If you guys don't subscribe, we're gonna do lots of content over here. I'm sure we'll have Ledgie Sports on many, many, many more times.
yeah,
And then, is there anything you want to plug before you head out of here?
yeah. I mean, we do a lot of the same stuff, but it doesn't mean that you can only watch one of us. Like
True.
the Pistons fandom, and that's what makes the Pistons community, especially in terms of content creators, so awesome. Is because everyone is just so welcoming, and we all talk about the same stuff, but we all have different perspectives, and that's why, I mean, I've loved watching this channel just because it's one of those things where we can talk about literally the same summer league game and talk about Okorie, but we each have 5 different points,
Yeah,
or
and
we're
it makes
talking
us
about.
smarter, I think, is listening to each
Yes.
other and hearing each other's perspectives. That's why, like, I'm really excited to have more and more guests on during the regular season. You know, I didn't even have
Yeah.
any guests on. I started this back when the Pistons were going into the game one against the Cavs. That was the first video I did after that game. And I haven't even been able to break down a regular season game with somebody else. So thank you for joining me on a watch along here. Um, I think we're gonna do lots of great Piston stuff over the next however long we do content. So thank you guys for watching. Subscribe over on Ledgie Sports. If you're not subscribed here, hit the subscription button. Until next time, thank you guys for watching. Have a great rest of your day. And no matter how you feel about what